Bring this meeting to order. Rise for prayer, please.
Lord, gracious Heavenly Father, we come here tonight, dear Lord, and just thank you for letting us come out here to do the city business, dear Lord, and just watch over all of us. And just please be with Israel tonight, dear Lord, and just watch over them and keep every one of them that we can safe, dear Lord, and just be with us here tonight. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Linda Vanderwart.
Here.
Stephen is absent. Mayor Sergowski.
Here.
Brenda Bolter. Here. Maureen.
Here. I'm pleased to see the guests that are here. I'd like to see the participation. First, we have consent agenda. If you guys had time to look through everything in minutes, etc., want to make a motion to pass it or modify it?
I've got a couple of questions on the old bills. On the Rush Truck Center, what was that? And then, if you can, let me know when the wheel loader, do you know when the wheel loader is going to be paid off?
I don't know the payment schedule on that. I think it wasn't a 5-year note originally.
Okay.
I don't have any of that information.
I know, I was just thinking it was gonna, I thought you might know if it was gonna be next year or.
If I had to guess, I'm gonna say we're probably looking at 3 more years on that.
Okay.
Without having anything in front of me, because I wanna say that was a 5-year note when we did it.
I was thinking it was, but.
Yeah, and, what if we had that, 2 years? Somewhere around there?
Thing.
Okay.
So it's gonna be all, okay.
You have something else?
The Rush Truck Center for 4,400, is that,
Rush truck.
Oh,
Was that the
warranty for the
warranty?
Definitely.
Maybe.
okay,
We was looking at extended warranty options for that new truck.
okay,
And
That's who the check got written.
looking at, you know,
That, I would say that's
more or less the insurance, you know, we had, on one of our trucks, we had an issue with the DEF system. I want to say that was over, is $10,000 or $15,000 is what that one problem cost us. And typically on these, if you don't have a problem, it's gonna be in that DEF system.
yep,
And the newer they get, the more expensive it is to fix
it's
it.
very expensive, okay, that's all I had.
I have an amendment to the consent agenda. Well, I have several, actually. One is to let you guys in on a donation for a fire truck. I want to let you know about that, but I'll let you know in the agenda. We went to discuss an administrative position for Lindo. And a proposal that Robin McCullough's going to be talking anyway, and while she is, we'll allow her extra time to discuss a proposal she has for the city of some sort. I think that's all I have for amendment. Okay, go ahead.
On the third page, it's the LP Iron and Dirt for $5,682.99.
Is that another check in?
No, in this session. It'd be today's. Okay.
That would be on 9/14.
Oh, page 30 of this, today's packet?
Yeah.
On page 3.
30.
Well, it says 3 up here and then it
It's
says
30.
30.
Okay.
Oh, LP Iron and Dirt.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, that's the contractor I've been using for the pool. So maybe there was a final check that was owed to him, I don't know for sure.
Can I ask if you guys had questions about these, could you let us know before the meeting, so that way we get them in front of Kelly so she can answer them? And, I mean, it would just be helpful, just so that way we could have everything, and if you wanted to see like the printout or something like that, it would be, because I don't see them all, so I don't know exactly which. She sees all the invoices, and Eddie may not know either. It just might be helpful if we can.
It's not a requirement, but it does.
No, it would just be helpful.
Because as far as I know, the only thing that we've used him for is the pool, but I haven't done anything there in a while, so.
This was This was, the check was written, I guess, or the date it was posted was 9/14.
That's when she does all of the billing, she dumps it in, so she has them all ready to go, and she doesn't do anything with the bills until after each council meeting, and she dumps them all in and pushes them all out, and they all get paid out on the same day. So this could have been an invoice at the end of August that they brought in, because she only pays bills once a month. So it could have came in after the last meeting in August, and she just doesn't have that invoice date.
I'm still learning.
Nope, no worries. Okay. You guys are satisfied with entertaining motion for past consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda with the amendments.
Motion by Linda,
Seconded.
second by Brenda, all in favor?
Aye.
Brenda? Marie? Aye. Agenda passes. Okay, first things first, old business. Chambers to give an update.
I'm filling in for Cal, if that's okay, so. I'll go over some of the stuff that she gave me to just to let you guys know things that are going on with the chamber. Upcoming events, trunk or treat booth that we're gonna do on the 28th, so I guess the city's gonna do that, or Ian Connolly, I guess, maybe spearheading that. But we'll be participating in that. November, we have a small business class scheduled with the small business incubator from West Plains will be here to give a class on small business and the ins and outs of it and so forth. November, we have the Veterans Breakfast that we're going to do probably the same day that the schools are going to do their lunch and have like a breakfast for the veterans in the morning for them to come and participate in. And then I'm not sure what that date is going to be, but it'll be dependent on when the school
It's
does
the 10th.
On the 10th, okay. So whatever date that's going to, I guess the 10th, we'll go ahead and do that in the morning. We have a Christmas parade already in the works. Tabitha says we've got 15 floats already signed up for it, so hopefully we'll have a little better participation in that parade than we did Pioneer Days. So that's working out pretty good. She also is going to do some kind of craft fair, maybe in November, but definitely in December to kind of coincide with Christmas and that kind of stuff.
Christmas parade.
What's that?
What's the date of the Christmas parade?
It's a 16th.
Yeah, she doesn't have it.
It's December
I know
16th.
she said it, but.
Yeah, December 16th.
16th?
Yes.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah. So So that's what she's got going on with that. Pioneer Days, seems like it worked out really well. We seem to have a lot of participation. We had about 142 booths set up, which is a pretty high number, I guess, compared to past years. I mean, we were typically around 120 or so, or 130, so we had quite a few vendors here. We did 227, I think, for our pancake breakfast, which was very busy around 10 o'clock, and stayed busy a good part of the morning, 9 to 10 o'clock, which is swamped. I talked to some of the vendors. I know Tabitha did, I know Betty did, and we got positive feedback from almost everybody that were pretty happy with the amount of volume they were doing. I ate over at Ron's in the morning. He was full, almost at capacity, I think. He had the back room, people back there eating too, so seemed like a lot of people in town for it. We did have a post-Pioneer Day meeting last week and just kind of went over a few things that we can tweak a little bit and maybe some areas of improvement that we'll focus on. But I think Tabitha did a fantastic job putting that stuff together. We appreciate, obviously, the city and their involvement and helping things run smoothly with that. And all the other volunteers. There's so many that I can't thank them all right now, but I think overall it worked really well for us. So, and that's about it as far as the update. On a different note, if the city feels like, and this is just a chamber thing, if you feel there's a benefit to it, we would be happy to be included, at least one of us, in the roundtable meeting you guys are going to have with the Oak Street merchants on Thursday. If you feel it's appropriate. I mean, there might be some things that we have to offer with respect to helping merchants out. Things the chamber can do.
Sure. You guys got Linda.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's up to you guys. I think it's a benefit. I've got some calls into some of the, our commissioner and the small business incubator and Missouri Chamber of Commerce to see if they have any ideas on helping businesses and this type of thing. That might help mitigate some of the losses, which we know we're going to probably see. Hopefully not too much. But anyway, that's up to you. If we can go, it would be great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I got.
Anybody have questions?
Questions?
Thank
I'm
you.
good.
Not enough enthusiasm.
I know, I was going to get up and holler.
Great update.
But, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, yeah.
Next we have Robin McCulloch to speak about Buck Nelson Dames as well as a proposal you have.
Now, first of all, I'm not quite as enthusiastic as Ricky was. Showed up this morning after being in Springfield at Sam's at 6 o'clock this morning, cooked the chamber luncheon. Life happens and has happened for 30 years on the second Tuesday of every month to find a whole bunch of people there. There was no way I could cook because there was no way I could serve lunch. So we have a communication problem between when the center is booked and when it is not. I don't know how that this needs to be worked out, but it is a problem. It was a problem when I had the convention here, which I'm having again next year. It seems to be a problem when you book something. This is the third time I know that Tabitha has booked something and it's not happening. I mean, and I'm not talking about a one time, I'm talking about for 30 years the chamber luncheon has been on the second Tuesday of every month. If the DNR people need a place to meet, I'm on the executive board of the youth center. We could have provided a place. We could have provided the Rubies and Russ room, which doesn't have the equipment that I need to cook. We could work with the city, but it seems like everybody's got too big of egos around here to communicate back and forth and help each other. What is the deal, people? Why can we not help each other? I spent $112 this morning that I wouldn't have needed to spend. And yes, most of it can go on the shelf, but part of it can't. The milk and orange juice can't. We were having breakfast for lunch. So that kind of just crossed it.
Well, I
I
appreciate
don't
that. And I personally apologize for that because it is under our rule that we are managing the youth center booking. and something, there was a miscommunication between the people at our front desk and you, the chamber, et cetera.
And they left it set up, there's a, you know,
There
I
was.
got, when
agree.
when I
I'm
went
not
to
making
book,
excuses, I'm saying that
I
I
know.
apologize for it. It was a screw up, and we are gonna take steps to make sure
and when
that
I
there
went
isn't a
to
screw up.
book, you know, I was told about the churches on Sunday. Everything was left up, set up for the DNR meeting. Nothing was taken down, all the name tags. So the church literally had to put everything away and then put it all back out. Where's that responsibility on the church? They're paying rent,
We
or
weren't
they,
made, we weren't made aware of that.
everything was left set up. I was in there because I had to put stuff in the refrigerator and I had to get stuff out of the freezer.
They're in there 2 days a week, the entire month of October and the first part of November, like the second, I think of November, their last holidays.
But they cannot leave that set up on Thursday
I
and
didn't know.
expect the church
I didn't
really,
know.
guys, why?
But we need to be
But
made
there
aware.
again,
so
it's
there is-
communication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody let me know, but I can address it with him.
Yeah.
I will
so.
address it with John from.
Cause and they did a good job. They took pictures and put everything back where it was, and I'm telling Melanie, that's crazy.
I'm
So-
sure that John with DNR, he's a very nice guy, I'm sure he didn't know that he needed to take it down, but I'll address it with him.
Or at least put it all on one table, put it on the
Whenever I scheduled our water class down there, which I reached out to the churches, and they said, it's fine, just leave it like it is, we'll use it, and then, because they would set it up on Wednesday, and then take it down on Thursday when I have my water class, but I also reach out to the churches, so I.
Well, Wednesday, that's a little small crowd, and half the time they meet in the back.
Yeah.
Sunday is when they have the food and they have more kids, and that's just what she was saying. She was worried that the kids, you know, would mess with the name. I mean, they go through and write everybody's name on there and everything, I mean, so they moved it and put it all back. I'm just saying, there's some kind of communication, and if it's a money issue the city is worried about, you know, Tabitha, you know, and I don't know, Tabitha should be the one, in my opinion, scheduling what goes on at the chamber, because she is there, she uses the building. When can she plan a craft fair? Well, I don't know, she don't know when the building is. When can you plan to have this or that?
She should know. She, isn't this?
She
isn't this
said
all
the
posted in
calendar, she
Canada?
can't get to the calendar, so I don't know.
It was only allowed to be here, like that's the way it was set up.
But how can Tammy find out what's going on?
I mean, they can share it with her, but we can't even share it with the computer next to, it's all on that one, it's all on that one up front.
Is that just a technical issue or a legal
I don't-
issue?
No, I don't know. It was just, that was the way it was set up before, because that's the way, my understanding, that the council wanted it beforehand. They wanted it only us to schedule the events at City Hall. We're busy with so many other things, and we don't know what they're trying to do. We don't know that that chamber meeting happens at that time. I mean, those girls up front don't know that. I don't know that.
It won't take a council decision to change that.
If
Between
chamber
us,
could schedule the events, that would be great.
yeah, between us, we can, that's just communication. I think.
And that was what, I think if the chamber had the calendar and the chamber schedules the events, and they take, you know, they can give a slip if they don't want the money, if you guys don't want the money laying down there at the chamber and her collecting it, let Tabitha give them a slip and let them come pay the clerks. But there needs to be some kind of better communication.
I agree.
Anyway.
Work on that. But that, I would appreciate it. Just letting us know. Heads up is good. Go
And
ahead.
I thank you, Eddie, for getting garbage disposal in there. That was really nice, Pioneer Day breakfast. I don't remember, we haven't had that many people for at least 4 or 5 years. Pioneer breakfast was awesome, and the helpers were awesome, so that was a really good thing. Only thing with, you have stupid people everywhere, the diaper in the toilet, and somebody decided to take a number 2 in the urinal, but anyway, people will be people, so. Bud Nelson update. We kind of waited for Pioneer Days to pass before we really started seeking a lot of donations and getting in swing. The table tents will be put out on all the restaurants in the next 2 weeks. We do have eclipse glasses if anybody, that was put on there today. Those are starting to come in. Did not really get an answer about the porta pots. And that's one thing, the man that I talked to that was down here for Pioneer Days said if we're intending on using them, they've got to know pretty quick. So
What's the question?
if the city will get the porta pots, and if you want the Buck Nelson Festival to pay for them, that's fine. But let the city get them so that we don't have to pay tax on them.
Who pays the porta potties for our other events?
I think, did the chamber cover the porta potties for Pioneer Days? That's what I was thinking. So it, yeah, but they're tax exempt though, correct?
I didn't see the check yet, but I would imagine we are, yeah.
Well, this is just something like an avenue around having to pay tax if we get them and then they reimburse us, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think if we're bringing this kind of people into the city and we're doing all this, we should pay tax on the porta potties. And then I hadn't addressed that, what about trash cans, like through the common areas? I am really worried about our city being overrun. There is not the hotel rooms between Poplar Bluff and everything is getting booked up. I mean, there's not even places for people to stay. There are going to be people here, what are we gonna do with garbage?
Okay,
You know?
another question. Who takes care of the trash bins and trash during our other festivities?
Our city guys usually do.
Is that who had all the extra cans out for Pioneer Days and everything?
Yeah, those are ours.
And that's what we should do.
That'd be like the only one we could do. And how long is this event? Is it 4 days?
It's 4 days. It's April 5th, 6th, 7th, and
They're
8th.
bringing people to town, so we should bear the burden of keeping.
And who owns the flower pots, the concrete flower pots around the city? Does the city own those? Who owns those?
The city owns them and we put them out for, in front of businesses that want them and we'll plant flowers in them.
Okay, I don't know, did any of the council members see the barn quilt class that I did at the youth center?
I saw it.
Okay, I'll save that for next meeting, because, one of the ways the city of Phillipsburg makes money and beautifies their city is they build wooden displays around these concrete dumpsters that are set over them, that are squares. You have the people in the town paint the barn quilts, and they're put on, they're left there for 2 months for people to vote on and everything, and then the top 2-3 people get a thing, a ribbon, and then they're auctioned off to the highest bidder. And that money goes to replant the flowers and to refurbish.
That sounds like an excellent chamber project.
So, okay. And the second thing is, did they get a
I
copy?
hadn't given it to them until you were ready.
Okay. This idea of a city manager. I am very opposed to a city manager in the term of a city manager from the workings of everything I read for a Class 4 city. Do I think we need help? Yes. I've done some pretty extensive background. I think it would benefit, in my opinion, for the city to hire a financial officer to do the budget and the tax record stuff and the money part of that kind of stuff. And that should be able to be done for approximately $40,000 a year. And then on the other, I think the city should hire an administrative assistant for paperwork for Eddie Owens and Mary Kazuski, and that person would be able to handle most of the HR paperwork. HR is not that big a deal. I worked for the same company for 18 years. I was the credit and collections manager and their HR manager. It's not that big a deal. We're not St. Louis, we don't have 1,000 employees. But it would free Eddie up to work more on things for the city, which is what a city manager would be doing. And it would also free John up to do more focusing on the matters of the city. And I just think that, the citizens, a lot of the citizens are opposed to a city manager, and I don't think that it's gonna benefit the city to spend over $100,000 a year on a city manager without at least trying a different avenue first. So I would at least like you to address and think about that.
We will be discussing city manager shortly in the meeting, so we'll pick it up. Thanks for your input. Okay, we've got Bill 1377 to become a resolution 231010. authorize an agreement between the city of Mountain View and Mountain View Birch Tree School District. We also have someone here that can answer questions if you have questions.
We tabled that at the last time, so we can just reopen that for discussion and go through, because that's after the first reading. So we don't have to read the first reading again. You're welcome.
You guys, whatever you want to do.
Do you need a motion to reopen it?
We don't need to vote to reopen, we can vote as far as for now that not only us, but also the school board has had a chance to go in and revise as far as for the contract. And I would guess that's why you're here, to tell any or answer any of the questions and stuff that went back and forth.
Yeah, the school board didn't have any issues with the initial contract or agreement that was drawn up. I've spoken to Deidre, and there's been a few minor alterations made per the request of somebody with the city. So, yeah, I'm just here to get your guys' go ahead, and then I'll take it back in front of my board next week at our board meeting, just with any of the changes that have been made, and hope to finalize it so we can begin work.
I'm good with it. You guys do.
Huh?
You good with it?
So that way you're aware of the last meeting and stuff. I can't speak for Steve, but I will for me. And you're the assistant superintendent, correct?
Correct.
So you will be in line for the second rotation. So ideally, what I was looking at was 20 years. And normally every 8 to 10 years is our cycles. So you are going to be on that second cycle, and that is what I wanted to hear as far as from it, is if you have the current vision of what the first cycle was. Because if you look at the last 8 years, it was a completely different vision than what we're already looking at as far as for now. So you are in agreement, you agree with this vision is what?
Yeah.
I knew that ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I wish that it was a 99-year lease. I mean, it's something that we would like to start work and continue, you know,
on.
improving and making it better. So, 20 years in our minds as a school district was kind of a bare minimum, because we would like to continue the partnership well into the future, and just continuing to make the facility as good as we can make it with hosting events and improving the facility. And, we've already got an additional baseball tournament planned that's just gonna bring 4 or 5 other towns of people into the community to patronize our businesses. So, it's something that the more we are able to do and the more that we can pour into it, the better it's gonna be, and everybody's gonna benefit. I mean, it's a
More
win-win.
importantly, you're rebuilding an actual, another event for our children to go through and do to
Absolutely.
learn. So,
It's a win-win.
Yep.
That's what it is. I just wished it was longer too.
Yeah.
I wish we could have got it for like 50 years.
Yeah.
So you need a motion.
I think we should.
we need a motion to approve to vote on the first one. We opened it,
And we should read the resolution aloud.
but we gotta read it on the second.
It's just a resolution.
Oh,
We only have to do the
yeah,
one.
okay.
But
read it
yeah,
last
no one
time.
will remember from
Yeah.
last meeting. So,
Okay.
Red, let's have you read it first.
You need to read it?
Yes.
Okay. A resolution authorizing an agreement by and between the city of Mountain View, Missouri and the Mountain View Birch Tree R3 School District. Whereas the city council of the city of Mountain View, Missouri desires to enter into a ground lease agreement with the Mountain View Birch Tree R3 School District. And whereas the city council of the city of Mountain View, Missouri deems it wise and necessary to pass this resolution authorizing this ground lease agreement. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Mountain View, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the city council of the city of Mountain View, Missouri does authorize a ground lease agreement by and between the city of Mountain View and the Mountain View Birch Tree R3 School District, a copy of which is attached to this resolution, and authorizes either the mayor to execute the ground lease agreement on behalf of the city of Mountain View. Section 2, that this resolution shall be in full force and effect after its passage and approval.
Now, we have a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve bill number 1377, resolution 23-10-10.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Vote.
Aye.
Brenda?
Aye.
Barry?
Aye.
We appreciate it, guys.
Throughout the month too. And great pictures, by the way, I just want you to know that, from last weekend.
Oh, yes. If you don't have any other questions for me.
Guys inside. Thank you. Football players. Yes, thanks, Ryan.
You bet, thank you.
Okay, Bill 1378 to become ordinance 1744, amending chapter 6, offense, well, I don't know how that's spelled, offense against public order and safety. However you want to pronounce all that. Don't sound like a sentence to me.
Okay, this is second reading. An ordinance amending the criminal and traffic code of ordinances from the city of Mountain View. Whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the criminal and traffic code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri. Be it ordained by the city council for the city of Mountain View, Missouri, as follows, that chapter 6 of the criminal and traffic code of ordinances be amended as follows. Chapter 6, offenses against public order and safety, article 2, disturbing public order, section 6-227, disorderly conduct.
This will be the second reading, so this is the second reading, I should say. We just need a motion to pass that.
I'll help
That would be a
you.
second
Make a
motion.
motion.
I make a motion for Bill 1378, ordinance number 1744.
Yay, that's my first.
Motion, and then a
I'll second it.
Second by Linda. Any discussion? Vote. Linda?
Aye.
Brenda? Barry?
Aye.
Passes. Okay. Council to discuss the closing of a pool designated CD at West Plains Bank to pay for completing the concrete. And basically, we'll be needing it to pay the balance of the pool work as it gets done. Not that it's done, but it's close. And I want to let you guys know, we're going to retain money until it's finished, even if it takes till spring, because they still didn't get the pumps in, and we're waiting on
I
it.
talked to them today. They come down and actually installed the pumps today.
They put them in?
They put them in today.
Oh.
So, but there is work that's gonna need to be done come springtime, and I did talk to him about that. I s you know, the final payment will be when they come down in the spring. They're gonna drain the pool, stripe it, fill it back up, and get it running. So once they get it running, everything, you know, it's doing what it's supposed to do, and that'll be our final payment. But in the meantime, there's the issue with the concrete around the deck of that pool. So, you know, we've got 2 CDs in the bank right now, and originally that was gonna be our matching money. I mean, we've already paid out north of $400,000 for this project. We've got back 50% of that, so I think I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe it was $424 is what we paid out, and we got back $212,000. So the last payment we made was to the plaster crew. So in the schedule of payments, our next payment was supposed to be $58,000 to Hines upon the completion of the plastering of the main pool and the kid pool. So when the job was done, which I was in and out of there all day while they were working on it, the gentleman that was the company owner, because Hines subcontracted to I think it was Midwest Plastering was the name of the company. Heck of a good guy. You know, he talking to him throughout the whole deal. Straightforward, didn't seem to be, you know, hiding anything. When we got done, I went up there to talk to him, and he said, "I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get paid." I'm like, I figured Hines would take care of that. So I ended up calling Hines and told him, I said, "Hey, if you need us to cut in the check right now, we can do that." So we did, and it ended up saving us north of $16,000, because his bill was $41.80. not $58,000. So we paid him directly and saved over $16,000 there. So I know that doesn't sound like much when you compare it to a $600,000 project, but that goes quite a ways toward that $50,000 we were looking at to replace all the concrete around that pool. So I don't know the exact percentage yet. I actually had Lonnie with that LP iron and dirt. I had him go up there and measure while they were there plastering, how many square feet is currently tore out. Because what's tore out right now is directly related to the scope of the project. That square footage, labor and materials, we're eligible to submit for reimbursement. So I think I'd figured it was around 10%. It may be a little bit more than that. It may be closer to 20%. But what we're running into is the longer we push it down the line, the more we're getting into the colder part of the year. And so we've got these 2 CDs in the bank that we had initially set aside from that, or for that. So we've got one that's give or take 125,000, one that's give or take 135,000. If my problem with cashing those in, and I think me and you kind of hit on this too, is that you're depleting any kind of reserves. Even though I know that's what they were set aside for. What I would recommend would be to cash in the smaller one of 125,000, leave that bigger one in there. Take that 125,000, say 50,000 of that, take care of the concrete. 10,000, rehab the pump building, which needs it. The rafters or purlins in that building are just pretty well non-existent. So as they rotted out, holes rotted through the ceiling, and so every time it rains, it rains in the building. But you got 50,000 for the concrete, say 10,000 for that. I want to say the bid to go in and do the sanded epoxy in both bathroom and shower areas was around 6,500, I think, give or take. Then the chain link around the pool is in sad shape. The post, not so much, but the chain link itself is in bad shape. I have not got a quote on that yet. But this 125,000 would take care of pretty much anything we need to do to the pool that's outside of that original scope that the grant won't cover. And there's a very good possibility we would have enough in there to, if we can do it, may be a reason why we can't, but there may be enough left over once we get those done to rehab the 2 lift stations that I think John had brought up in the past. I want to say that quote was for 3 pumps, correct?
2 pumps,
That was for
46,000.
Okay, I thought it was 3. Two pumps is what we need. Because what had been overlooked was our worst lift station in Southern Hills has 1 working pump and it's 7 years old. Country Meadows lift station pumps to Southern Hills.
Yeah.
And then it pumps over the hill. So our most crucial one is in the most dire shape.
At this time.
Yeah, at this time. I mean, we've got 2 brand new pumps in Burning Tree. We've got 1 new one in Country Meadows. 1 that is still working. It's pretty close to what you would call its last leg, but it's still working. But over in Southern Hills, we've got 1 that's dead. It's dead short. When he made it out, it was short to get across. You have another one in there that they put it down as being an okay pump. You know, it's doing its job. We're a small catastrophe or a small hiccup away from a catastrophe in that lift station. Because considering everything from Country Meadows goes to Southern Hills and then goes out, that's my recommendation. You know, cash that small one in, tackle this pool project, finish it, and with what's left over, try to put that toward those lift stations.
So if we got a new pump for that lift station, that's going, one's dead, you got one that's working, it sounds like you've got two that's partially working.
Yeah, we've got, yeah,
So minimum, we would have to buy at least one pump, possibly two,
yeah.
because you'd have backups on the other pumps, even though it
Yes.
wasn't great, but you would have a backup.
Yeah. So, yeah, and in that bid, that was also, I would've swore he said 3 new pumps, but I know he was gonna do three of the mini CADs. And the mini CADs is basically what will talk to these new pumps, because the new pumps they have an auto reversing feature. So if somebody flushes a rag down the toilet and it gets caught in that, it will sense that and shut itself down before it burns the pump up. And it'll actually reverse itself to run that rag back out. So we would have to have those installed in all 3 locations in order to make these pumps completely universal. So he may be right, it may have just been 2 pumps, but I know it was 3 mini CADs to make them available use in every location.
So is your other 2 locations, are they the mini CADs or?
Yeah, yeah,
So
the new
that would
pumps
bring
that-
us up if we
yeah.
own the one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, at bare minimum, one new pump in Southern Hills and the 3 mini CADs to make it universal.
So you quoted the last meeting, it was around 40-some thousand.
46,000.
So we just ballparking it for one pump, if we had the money to do one pump, or are we looking at 20 grand?
I would say we're probably looking closer to 30,000 because the pumps are expensive, but the mini CADs are also pricey. But the mini CADs are the only way you can make those pumps completely universal.
Okay,
So you would have to put those in every location. So essentially you got, one lift station's got two mini CADs. So you got 2 separate control boards.
so with the old, and you're above my pay grade on the mini cat, because I don't understand this, but anyway, on the old pumps, could you hook the old pumps in with the mini CAD system that you're gonna put in, or?
I don't
would they
think
just-
so. I don't think so.
But we could
No.
still use them if we needed to.
We could. We just have to wire around that mini CAD.
Okay.
Because they're,
Yeah.
yeah, I see, yeah. So, like, if we took one out, but this one's still working, yeah, we could keep it for a backup if we needed to.
Okay. I just hate to see 30 grand sitting on a
Oh,
shelf
yeah.
somewhere that we
Yeah, for sure.
ain't using in case we
Yeah.
need it, but if we got 2 that we could use,
Yeah. And we never know, with the sewer project, we might, if we can daylight, or not daylight, but, if we can gravity feed from Burning Tree to Country Meadows, that gives us 2 really new pumps that would work for either one of them other 2 lift stations.
okay.
So, yeah, I mean, if we can manage to get 1 new pump bought and those 3 mini CADs, eventually gravity feed that, we can take those 2 pumps and use in either one of them.
Will he, on our concrete stuff that we're buying, will we get, if we just paid that off whenever he was finished, would we get any kind of a discount on that, or?
I think the price he gave me was him come in and do it.
Okay.
He said if we tried to do this in stages, like in and out, it's gonna cost another $5,000 to $8,000 if we don't just set in and do the job. So, now as far as the concrete goes, I bid it separately because we're gonna pay for it separately.
Okay.
If we pay for it straight with Vaughn's, that eliminates any possibility anybody could mark anything up.
And that would leave us the other CD for anything else we needed
Exactly.
to. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your plan on replenishing the funds in that CD?
Well, I mean,
We're not replenishing that CD. We're not replenish it.
Well, we got another project that's happening right out here that is only paid for half of it, and we gotta do the other section of the road of that too, and that's gonna cost money from something. And originally, when we started taking, not from the CD, but just doing what we could and expending for the labor and whatnot, we were earmarking that potential also to finish this. And this affects as far as not only our main thoroughfare through, but also businesses. Whereas the pool We need to finish it, but we also need to prioritize what actually goes through and, because that's gonna lock down the city. And that's what the fears and stuff are. This is something that we've talked about before, but it was back January, February, I think is when we
Well,
were.
we don't have a way to replenish, we only have so much to work with. We don't
Right.
have a
Oh,
way
I
to
know.
replenish it. We just have the other CD for backup for something like that or emergency.
But
And then we have our buffer, as you guys know in our accounting thing,
Mhm.
our buffer would get that much smaller if we started using the buffer,
Right.
you know. So no, we wouldn't be replenishing or replacing that CD. We could, there's another option here, you could leave that CD in place and just lower our buffer. In other words, we'll just take it out of our general account. Then instead of having a 1-month buffer, we'll have a 3-month buffer.
Which is what we've been doing so far.
Right.
Now,
So we
it,
get that.
it looked bad until we got that reimbursement.
Yeah, we pay it out with it coming back, half of it coming back. So that's the thing, we'll be just reducing our buffer. Well, we have a CD there, and just keep our buffer the same. Or, well, what's the CD earning, do you know what percent? I mean, it's not 15%, so we're not losing, we're not losing a whole lot.
So is it time to reorganize even the other CD? Is it matured enough to do
Not
that?
They're
yet.
both were like August, they were like all of next
Yeah.
year. The smaller one, it was $400 even and some change, I think 24 cents or something like that, and take it out for,
Yeah, that was our
That was
penalty
for-
for our,
but it would be August, I believe it was August or September.
So our normal accounting buffer is either we want to take it smaller, and leave the CD in, or use one of the CDs for the pool, one CD maybe for the street if that's what we decide at that time, without reducing our month-to-month buffer. Because a month-to-month buffer is handy, because you get an emergency, it's there, you don't have to go cash in the CD, you don't have to wait for a meeting, you don't have to do anything, emergency is an emergency, it's there, it's in the buffer. That's what the buffer's there for. So that's why his recommendation of using one CD to get that done, that project over with, and then having the second one as a buffer for the street, which we are talking with the contractor, we're gonna see what we can do there, and save a lot of money there.
yeah, I know it's a big decision, and I don't like the idea of cashing in either one of them, but it's also, my deal with this pool is, we're so far deep in it right now, kind of past the point of no return.
So what did you say the cost for the concrete was gonna be?
I've slept almost 30 times since then. It was, oh,
58, 50?
I think it was, just shy of 50,000.
And then labor was on top of
No,
that.
that was everything. That was like 24.
808 was
That
the labor.
that was labor, and the concrete was also
And then the fence, you don't know how much it'll be.
What's that?
The fence, we don't know.
No, because there's so many variables there. I mean, it all depends on where you go. I mean,
I've got written down 48,000 on the
it
concrete.
was a 48, okay, I was thinking just shy.
I
of
was
50.
just said, I had
Yeah.
council discussed concrete bids for the pool funding, 48,000.
And then the
That's what I have
labor was
written
on
down.
top of that.
No, that was it.
Was that the whole thing?
Yeah, that was concrete out there. So, then there may be some additional extras in there, you know.
When are they gonna do the concrete?
I haven't set a date because I ain't had a go ahead yet.
Okay.
He was wanting to get on it a month ago.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get that buttoned up so that next spring, we'll just be doing the easy work.
Yeah.
When is the engineers coming in on the street project out here?
Engineers.
I thought you just said that the engineers was
Oh,
gonna get with us on
That's
that.
gonna be HR Quadrant. They're gonna be meeting with us Thursday morning at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So we've had a pre-construction
There's the
meeting.
contractors.
Yeah, this is, that one's actually doing the job.
And they're starting on
So-
the 16th is
That
preliminary.
was his tentative date, yeah.
The engineering's done.
So if we tabled this, on your CD till next month, would that be a problem on doing that till we get all that kind of, seeing what where our cost is gonna act?
November.
The concrete
How
side
long
would
does
be
that
the
need to
problem.
sit and cure
Couldn't do
before
it.
it breaks?
It'll get you cold.
I don't know, that's just it, I'm not sure what temperature it needs to be at, what he would feel comfortable
The-
being at.
Yeah.
That needs to cure so long before it freezes.
I don't know how long it
They
needs
do
to
have hot water at
shut.
the concrete plant too, so
What's that?
they do have hot water mixed
Yeah.
down at the concrete plant.
We'd be pushing it for the concrete, but
Yeah.
the other, if he doesn't sell the two pumps that we have earmarked for us, because once they sell, the new pumps are
Yeah,
already
they will.
replaced, they're $7,000 higher
He
each.
did guarantee that.
Yeah. And that's still today. But you start talking $7,000 each for pumps, plus shipping, because they have to ship them in.
Yeah.
But we're saving a lot of money all around that way.
What do the pool pumps cost?
Oh, I don't know, that was figuring that contract.
Because if they've just delivered them, we haven't paid for that part either, right?
Yeah, we haven't paid for that yet.
That's
Which,
all
I don't know, I think there was
part of
only.
the- We have all that set aside for.
Yeah, I think there was only one more payment due after the plaster. So if that's the case, there's only one more payment due, we're not paying that till they're done striping.
Or we may pay a partial of it.
We may-
would look at the
we might do a
percentage.
partial and
We're
withhold
gonna withhold
so
a
much
percentage
back.
of it, you know, until everything's finished.
I don't remember what that final payment was. And then, I mean, I put him off for a month. I'm afraid if we don't do something, we're gonna wind up losing him, and then may have to go with that next higher one, which will cost us a few more $1,000.
I'm worried more about the weather and them getting manpower to do it before the weather turns.
Yeah, because there's gonna be a decent amount of labor on our end, getting that old concrete out.
In trying to figure out the fear of this out here, but I know the pool needs to be done.
Well, right now, this is engineered and the grant, et cetera, that was applied for. However, right or wrong it may have been, it is what it is, and it, basically half of this street, all the way down on both blocks, is gonna be new, complete with the aqueducts underneath it. That's, we have a full 1.3 something million for that. Now, while they're here, we discussed preliminary with the contractors themselves, that if we do some of the work on the other side of the road ourselves, and if they'll go ahead and help us with it, we may be able to go in and do it. We may be able to do a $500,000 project there for 100,000 or less. And I'm saying may. You know, we're just trying to squeeze it in and, hey, while you're here, you got that machine here, do this. And we're gonna jump in there, pour a little cement, move on down. Just to work with them and save us a lot of trouble in the end and actually get a complete street out of the deal.
My only concern is not knowing till we discuss with the contractors. I have no problem doing what you're doing. But we've had a lot of projects that's went over budget, and the alleyway was one of them. And I don't want to pull that CD as of yet till I know what, because I have no idea what that other half's gonna cost us. It might cost us 100,000, it might cost us $1 million. But if we do the CD and then we need it, that's gonna help us that much for that right there to get the businesses up and going. So I'm hesitant to say, yeah, let's pull the CD till I know about what that's gonna cost us out there.
There's two points there, I appreciate it. One is, we're really just doing half the street, that's it. We're not obligated, we don't need to, we don't ever, I mean, we need to, but with the funds we have coming, with everything that we got going on, it's really half the street all the way down. That's how it was applied for, that's what's getting done. We're only looking to try to sneak in what we can to save some money for the future. Just like with the pumps, we're saying, buy these two pumps now and save money 2 years down the road. That's all we're doing. We're trying, this is not mandatory, this is not, you know, several years from now, or a truck falls through on that side, yeah, we wish we did it, or it'd be mandatory at that time. But we're just trying to get more bang for the buck while they're here. And that, the second thing is that meeting is no way, that time, it's what, Thursday? This Thursday morning. It's not any financial, any bargaining meeting. It is strictly a meeting for the contractors to work with the business owners and try to work out a plan of ingress and egress. And they won't be prepared at all to even think about, and they don't even know until they dig it up, what help we can do or they can do with the other side of the road. We're just throwing that in there as a little sneak thing that we might be able to save some money, that they're here, let's try to save some money, let's get something done and help something that's inevitably gonna be needed anyway. So it's really not a, they don't even have a bargaining chip or a dog in a race or anything. It's just, if we can talk them into doing us some favors while they're here, you know, and if we look at it and say, well, that's gonna take $250,000, we'll have a new road. No, I'm sure the board will just say, no, we're gonna leave it, the road we're putting in, we're gonna clean it up on the other side and we're done. We'll go apply for another loan, another grant. We can work on that 5 years from now if necessary. So this is strictly, while we have the opportunity to save some money and get ahead, we'll try. But there's no promises anywhere, and there's no obligation for us to commit hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I wouldn't even recommend it at this time.
Whenever I talked to the contractor, basically he told me, he said, we're gonna have equipment here, if you need us to pop the top off that so you guys can throw some forms up there and pour concrete, he said, we're gonna be right here. But that's one of those things, if we think it's something we can tackle, we'll do it. But he did make a comment to me out there that, he said if we were ready and wanted to try and pop that loose, he said they'd have something there to do. But my fear about that is we open that up and then we're working on it right in the middle of them. And I would almost rather them do what they're gonna do. Come in, lay the new box culverts in from first to third, backfill, go in and pave that half, because you should have a pretty good straight line, pave right down the center. You know, or from the center, roughly center to the sidewalk, you know, take care of this. We could go in and do a section at a time, like we did back in 2008, from the alley down to 17. And that's what we done, we cut out approximately 20 foot at a time. We saw cut on the edge of the street, got in with the backhoe. At the time, we didn't have a jackhammer, that would have been worth its weight in gold. Now we do. So we could saw cut, take out a 20-foot section. You know, that's small enough that our crews can manage. We can go through, build some forms, lay our metal in there, pour our concrete, go in, take in forms out, move down to the next 20-foot section. You know, but
Is there gonna be, other than the pavement on the other side of the road, is there stuff that they're gonna have to fill in, or
on the other side of the
on the other
road,
side of the road? Are we just looking at having to,
we're just looking at putting a new cap on top of it.
so basically just paving it?
There's no
Yeah,
sidewalks
well,
that's gonna be
You,
paved.
you'll go through and where the drain inlets are in front of the trading post and on. So basically you come out, say for instance, 8 feet, make a saw cut, rip that out, build forms, pour a concrete cap back over it and then pave it. So of course, you know, as we're pouring the cap back on it, of course, we'll put our drain inlets on, you
You're
know.
talking
so
about the
it's-
city doing this.
Yeah, yes, us. Because when they bid on it, I know originally they was talking about at one time doing both sides, and then they got to seeing that the cost was gonna be way more than what that grant would have been good for. So then they looked at doing some laterals, going in and putting some angled laterals from the east side to the west side at a southwest angle in hopes that this new box culvert would pull water out of the old one. And then that was gonna be an additional, I think, $800,000 just to put those laterals in. So after that come in, they're like, no, let's just focus on the west side, do new box culverts from Third down to First Street, and then repave that. So, yeah, they're not even looking at anything on the other side.
Yeah, we're not trying to re-engineer anything right now, I'm referring to what you're saying is our backup second CD. We really wouldn't be wanting to invest a whole lot of money in that side at this time.
No.
But that is still our backup CD for whatever it is, if there's an emergency, et cetera.
I have a question. How will it help to just do half of the street? I mean,
Well,
is
that's
it
the
gonna
main
hold
water-
up?
That is the main waterway. That is the main aqueduct that's gonna move the water from north to the south. And the other side does have a duct under it that is already usable.
Okay.
This side is not, this side's shot.
Yeah.
We have to replace this side, and we're replacing it with a bigger one so that it will handle a lot more water.
So is the businesses, they're gonna have to shut down through the whole process?
That decision we made Thursday between businesses and the contractor himself. They're gonna talk about how they
It's
can
open
do
for
that.
foot traffic,
Yeah,
it's
it'll
just
be
only
open.
car
Yeah.
traffic is closed for, so, I mean, they
So
usually.
they won't have to shut
No,
down?
they don't have
No,
to shut
no.
down.
No.
Thank
They're gonna work out a plan, hopefully handle it for everybody.
No, they can.
Yeah.
they'll
Look
use
at this Oak Street out here, it's been done twice before. Okay, and nobody shut down. In fact, Curtis Department Store, if I'm not mistaken, was right next door. Brenda, if you, right, when they did it the first time. Nobody shut down. Everything through here was open. You just had to park in the city parking lot. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember the gentleman's name that owned the hotel. You just come down the street and go under there, and then you had the parking lot over there where Walgreens. There was no business shut down. Ron's Restaurant, the Trading Post, the Eyeglass, every business through here was still open. Both other times that they did that. Is that right, Lyndall? I mean, they were both open, everything was open, wasn't it? You were here the second time, I know, because,
Yeah, I've slept since then,
yeah,
but
but
I think they
I'm
will.
pretty sure everything was open.
Okay, Calvin, but we're gonna put you on the list for coming in Thursday and discussing that with the, building
But
owners.
nobody told them they had.
I'm just saying that
Nobody
it was
told them
worked
they had.
out.
No, we need that. No, we need that.
So-
To calm their
So I
fears,
worked out.
and I don't blame them for
One
being
that I
fearful
didn't
right now.
personally-
But I don't understand, Ron was here the other two times. Walgreens was not open, but there was, and so was the hotel.
Spokesperson, they were on the same way.
Okay, thank you.
The drive-through exits out.
Okay, what do you guys wanna do with what? Do you agree with, Eddie's proposal? I like the proposal, I think it's good. It'll save us money 2-3 times over.
I don't want to take anything else out of the buffer.
The CD is already earmarked, both CDs are earmarked for the pool.
And this is
originally.
gonna cover all of these are close to. It's gonna cover the pool concrete, the pool fence, the pool floor, the pool building repair, and the pumps.
Well, the pump, oh, you're talking about sewer pumps?
Yes.
Sewer pumps. If not, it's gonna be darn just right there. So the only thing I didn't get a price on was the fencing material, which your posts and uprights are all in good shape, aside from the west side that we had to cut some out to get equipment in, but that's the side we was looking at extending anyways. So we're gonna
You're gonna,
Bleachers.
yeah, get rid of the bleachers, is what we was looking at doing. So,
Do we have a motion to approve Eddie's plan? Or disapprove it, or we can vote on it? Or make a motion and we vote on it.
I make a motion that we accept the plan going forward, removing the smaller of the two CDs to use to finish the pool and the two pumps for the lift station. You want listed out the stuff that's going to cover? Okay.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
Do we have further discussion? Vote?
Aye.
Brenda?
Aye.
Mary?
Aye.
Is there anything more we need officially to do the CD tonight?
Not unless the bank has said that they're gonna require something different. Most of the time, they just need something in the minutes.
Everything else in place, so that should be good.
I mean, if they need minutes, then that might be all they require. I don't think that they will need a resolution. She didn't tell me that they would need anything like that, so.
Yeah, normally it's just the minutes, so unless they have something special with this one.
Okay, I'm thinking that, Lindo, you wanted to discuss the administrative position. I'm thinking that would be under old business.
Yeah, because we've done most of it anyway.
Let's add that in at this time.
Are we good to go?
Yes.
I would like to kind of see where we're at. I know Steven's got a just lost the word, let's think. Job description, we've got kind of a pay, a salary window, but I would like to make a motion to open up the 3 candidates we got for city administrator for next Tuesday to do, interviews at 2:30, and see where we stand. And then if that doesn't work, follow up on the 19th.
That motion?
Yes, yes, I'd like to make a motion to open up the interviews so we
We
can
have a
see where
second.
we're at.
We have a second, so we can discuss it.
I'll second it.
We have a motion, second, discussion. My concern will be the obvious outpouring from the public that we're already representing. When you qualifying it, reasonably, that we're doing the right thing with hiring one. We don't have this job description here, which we really need to approve too. We need to do that first. Secondly, those people have applied, how many months ago?
Almost 6 months ago, and
So
that's
we-
the deadline for no longer.
We need to repost that instead of just rushing into an interview, because we may have all kinds of applicants out there, or maybe even of these 3, they may recant.
Yeah.
We need official.
Because
And
I
then,
know before you wanted to post it, we didn't have the Facebook at that time, so it needs to be Facebook, the newspaper, and then I know that you guys had said you want to post it like somewhere like Indeed or something like that. You had said that previously, like back in April, that
and
you wanted to post.
we have also another applicant that's in-house that would be applying as well, so we have another one already coming up. Plus, we're worried about, and rightly so, we're worried about what we're spending and having buffer, et cetera. I don't want to try to get a qualified or experienced person in that job and ask them to work for nickels and dimes, because that's what we get. We get what we paid for. So with us trying to be frugal about this, so far to date, myself included, but mostly the staff at City Hall has filled in and taken care of that job position. We've fulfilled basically, I'd say 90% of those duties, and we can live without the other 10%. We have, and we can continue to do so until we can justify the extra expense of this, and hopefully it'll pay for itself somehow. But right now, everybody at City Hall is doing a good job of it, and we're getting everything done by far better than in quite a few years. If you look at the progress we've all made, including the board, I don't see justification in going ahead and jumping into it at this time. I think we should wait until we have a bigger need for it.
I've been approached by probably at least 10 or 15 individuals within the city, 5 to 6 business owners that really feel like we need to do something in this position, because either what Robin's saying or the city administrator, whatever we label it as, but we need somebody in here to cover some of this and get some of this little stuff that's falling through. You can't do it, and we need somebody in that position to help take care of this stuff. But with doing the interviews, I feel like we're gonna see where we're at, what we've got out there, and then if we need to open it up again, the 4 people, we may have good candidates there, even for this position that Robin's talking about.
That's not fair to the interviewees, though, on that basis. What I'm still stuck on is, and it's been brought up before, these little things that are falling through. First of all, if they're little things, and it's gonna cost the city a lot of money, that's fine, we can live without it. But if they're not little things, what are they and what do we need to do? Maybe we can step up and get them done.
Well, I said little things, but there's a lot of stuff that's been presented to me as far as big things that could affect the city down the road, that we need to get somebody on, but we don't have somebody doing that right now.
I need,
Examples?
What do you need done?
Well, you've got cyber crimes, you've got OSHA as far as what we're doing out here in the, as far as our people doing. Just little things like, say like what she was talking about as far as scheduling. We need to get our handbooks in place. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken care of that doesn't seem like, I know Sarah's got her plate full, Eddie's got his plate full, and you do, but we need somebody in there to help do this. Plus, you just didn't want a marketing manager, but we need somebody to go out and help put businesses in here too, to help fund our city too, so.
And we've got the chamber for that, and we've got up and coming a lot of cooperation there. That's not a problem with that last section, it's not the city's responsibility, because we're using our residents' tax money that would be going to them for their upkeep of their facilities. I don't want to use that to go generate more business. We'll let the chamber, et cetera, do that. That's just the smallest thing that you mentioned. As far as
The policies are outdated, okay? That has been something that I've been on for over a year now, and we've agreed to this. And we agreed even almost 2 years ago that that was a main consideration for this position, you and I talking. G-Works is a mess right now. We've got issues with that we can't see where things are going because we can't generate the correct reports, which is financials. And the amount of things, and I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, I'm saying we need somebody that's there that can supervise and push these things to going through. So you're looking at financial, you're looking at policies, you're looking at, and policies as well as what we have talked about is one of the major, with the handbook, also gets into as far as for the medical, the retirement, the things along that nature. So if we've got these that are falling through, those are affecting the outcomes for the future. And that's the position of what we're looking at for here, is it's not for immediate. It's if we don't set this up, we're dooming the next ones.
Well, I agree with most of what you said. Eventually, yes. The policy book, it was my understanding that the board, including myself and you and all of us.
We started and then we got into everything
have been
else.
working on it.
Yeah, and it got into, with everything else that hit and all the emergencies.
The policy book we have now has sufficed, and any problems that arise out of it, the board has solved so far and can solve. So we don't have to hire someone just to review the policy book. The retirement, et cetera, we've got 2 people working on retirement right now, and Eddie took care of them, and unbelievable. He's got that stuff down pat, where he takes care of them without any problem.
And we are both going to a meeting at the end of this month for retirement, like with loggers.
So we've got that covered, that's not a problem at all.
G-Works.
And G-Works, we are, Sarah's currently looking into competitors to G-Works, because right now I'm not satisfied with G-Works.
We've had issues with G-Works for months.
And one of the issues which
Yeah, months. But,
I mean,
but
it's
the
always
hard part
extended.
of what affects us is
But what I
much more
think
we
is happening is they're probably working on a buyout.
Okay.
Because that's what I think is happening, because I have talked to other cities that are experiencing the same thing. So I believe that is what some of their stuff is. They have, I think, let some of their people go because in the pandemic, they all went to work from home. So there's, where there used to be like 10 or 12 people that could call you back anytime, now there's like 2 or 3. So I think that's part of what I hear chatter-wise, I think that they might be. I don't know for a fact, but I feel like they're getting bought out.
we're exploring other avenues there at this time, and we don't need an administrator to do it, because we've got someone already on it doing it, and those avenues are because G-Works cannot even do what we already passed to do, and that is have a 6-month year this year, and start the year out January 1st.
They have to rebuild our entire software.
They have to start from scratch
Do a
and rebuild
fiscal
it.
year
And
change.
Springs went through the same thing and did the same thing.
Yes, G-Works.
And it's possible, but I think
They have to rebuild our software
I
to
don't
change our
think-
fiscal year.
They
it
couldn't
was
even give us an estimate.
investigated.
It was not.
They couldn't give us an estimate. It's $150 an hour, and they said it's gonna take a long time. Well, we've got a thing into them right now asking what would be an estimate to get it done by January 1st. And we haven't heard back from them because they're, 2 weeks behind on responding. So that's why we're working
So
on
I
that.
had another call to them from today to see if they could get us a timeline estimate of when that would happen. But as where it says now where G-Works, our fiscal year is still July to June because it was never changed and they can't change it to 6 months, but it was never investigated. Because it's not a click of a button, it's rebuilding the entire software to change every single thing and every dynamic and every report at $150 an hour to change our fiscal year.
Yeah, we're not satisfied with what they can do for us so far, and originally it was just one company buy out another, buy out another, et cetera, and that's how we got involved in GeoWorks through the years. Not because we picked them, whoever was up here, picked them because they were the best, or the best printouts, et cetera. There's no reason why we can't be like other cities, and that is 4 clicks and you've got your financial report you want for today. With GeoWorks, you can't do that. That's what we've been stuck with. So that's why we've been exploring more others. But again, we don't need an administrator to come and tell us how to do that. We've got it under control and we're working at it. Cyber crime, et cetera, that's, I don't know the answer to
GeoWorks
that.
takes care of.
It's gotta be coming from GeoWorks. It's gotta be the people that do it. It's gotta be the computer people. We'll never hire someone that can do that for us. There's no one capable of doing that and then still be able to do it. That's a full-time professional position. So that's all, it's all taken into consideration. OSHA, we've got OSHA classes, we've got OSHA certified people, we've got everything going there. We don't have
Does
problems.
the city not have cyber insurance?
Do we have cyber insurance
Yeah, you don't have insurance?
on our programming?
I can look into see what Myrna has, because I'm
Yeah,
sure Myrna covers
Myrna
a
would
lot
probably
of
cover
that
us
stuff.
there.
They
Yeah.
take care of,
We've got an umbrella
they
policy there,
monitor.
along with many others, thank you. As for the simple things like the scheduling, that's easy, that was a lack of communication, and it was a lack of communication on both parts. I would still think that the chamber, Tabitha, should be saying, hey, next Tuesday we've got this. And then they can say, whoops, whoa, oh, Bethany screwed up. She booked somebody there, let me see if we can rebook them, or move you guys, or something. It takes both sides to communicate, I think we can handle that.
What about for like the scheduling down there? I mean, they use Office down there, and I have no problem with that. If they have the office down there, why not have them do all the scheduling for it? And I think that's kind of what Robin had hit on.
That's what I'm
earlier.
saying, let them
Big part
do
of
the
that came out of
scheduling and let the money, well, see, the
Yeah, well,
audit
I
said,
mean, they don't,
it wasn't us that
they
said,
don't have to take the money.
the money can come, you
But
can
if
do
they-
a slip
if they
thing,
do the schedule
like they do at
down
school. You
Yeah,
pay,
you ought
you
to
take
have
the
it.
slip
I'm
from the
sure
library.
there's a way we could work something out.
I think it would help the girls up there because they don't know what goes on, they don't know the different dynamics of it, that part is so busy. It would really be better if the chamber did handle it, like she said, a slip or something, hey, I've met with the chamber, I've secured my date, you know, and we just attach that with the receipt or whatever and call it good and let them know that they paid it.
At the time, the previous board did the right thing, because we had to go along with what the audit said, how we have to correct our problems. But we didn't think of, sorry, I was here too, I'm to blame too, we didn't think of that it was really the financial aspect that had to be taken care of. And if you do go with what you're saying, go with the financial aspect to City Hall, let them control it, yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
And if you want the chamber to help beautify the city and do things in the city, they gotta know when they can do stuff.
Okay, thank you. So, what do you guys, well, we're tapping a lot of subjects. What else did you guys want to bring up? Basically, we're back to, we're basically justifying the administrator's position.
I'm asking to do interviews. I ain't saying
At this
hire
time.
one,
Well, that's
I wanna
not
do
fair to
interviews.
them. That wouldn't be fair to the interviewees.
but what if we wanna hire one for this job?
For that job.
Yeah, say, well, Robin,
Her
we've gotta
idea-
know, we've
okay.
gotta know where we're at.
Her idea is a good idea too. If you really get down to it, the only thing that we could really streamline at City Hall, partly because of GeeWorks, would be a financial advisor, certified. Anybody can have good sense, et cetera, business sense, no problem. But a certified financial advisor for the books. When Eddie tells you something about our finances, or when I tell you it, or if you go read it out of your audit, that's not certified. It really doesn't go anywhere. But if we had either a part-time or what do you call that? What was the name?
Consultant.
Pardon? Consultant, a financial consultant, that would be the only place I would see that we're actually lacking at this time. things can change, the next election comes up, things change. But right now, that's the only place I see where we don't have a certified financial consultant. And if we explored that, if one of these
I think
people
this
do
position
that-
here is more than everything. It's everything combined, but it's the leadership that's missing.
We have
It's
good
also
leadership.
the attention of
The human
the accountability that's there. Because ultimately, the accountability has to be through as far as the board. The mayor's position is only for public safety. And if you don't believe me, it's in RSM law.
Yep.
That's exactly what's listed out. They've done schools and stuff on.
Regardless of that,
and
what's
even
getting
in-
done?
But that's, I've just listed out everything that we're finding that's coming through. It also goes for your future, it does your budgets. And the position we were looking for is actually about the same money or less than what that was. Because we were talking between 70 and 80, those two positions are 82. As an example of what was there for the things that go through. Eddie should not be touching anything that's administrative because he's your operations. He's having operations jobs and stuff that are falling through because he's handling administrative. Okay?
I don't agree with the first part, the second part I agree with.
You don't think that he's handling his operations great?
He's handling both sides very well.
Okay, so if you spread out too thin and you're going so many different directions, are you good at anything?
We only have so many crews and then we have responsible supervisors out in the field. We don't have a problem. We're getting everything done.
What's your next big project?
Next big project, hopefully that pool,
How about that street?
that street, yes.
Well, Thursday we'll discuss that, but then we're not gonna discuss the,
But you see what I'm saying? That's the operations side. So
and
the
that's the
paperwork,
administrator's job too.
the administrator's part of it is the paperwork part. The things that keep rolling. Where
Then we
the
don't
funding's
need an
coming. Where-
administrator just to do paperwork. All we need is a part-time person, and I'm all for a part-time person. That's not a problem, but we're not lacking. You know, we're not, I'm all for eventually doing that as we can afford it. We are a town of limited resources. We can't just raise taxes, we can't just
Nope,
up.
I agree.
So,
And we can't keep going and getting loans and stuff too, but we've been
and we're
managing to
doing
do
fine.
that.
We are doing fine right now, and if you'll notice, if you get a chance, which you of all people would know, all of us, well, the two of you haven't been on the board previously, just in the last year and a half, we've made stride,
We have.
leaps and bounds.
But
And
you don't-
we're doing it.
And I agree.
You know.
And the same things that we've talked is we are setting things up for the future. Correct?
As much as we can afford to, gotta be
That's
careful
correct.
there.
Yes.
We can't just forsake the future to set it up. We've gotta be able to keep that ball rolling and keep that snowball getting bigger. And so far, I don't see any
But
big.
you're saying we can't afford it, but we have the other positions that we've got rid
I
of in
didn't
the
say we
last
can't
year
afford it.
is more than what we ever even thought about for any position that was
I
gonna
didn't
put
say
on.
we can't afford it. It's not
But I just think we need somebody there, as Murray said, in leadership, somebody to help take care of some of this other stuff that's going on as far as the paperwork side, the other things that we're not seeing, and we've got other people in town that, you know, I
Examples, please.
hear that people saying, hey, we don't need this, but then also I'm getting the phone calls at my house saying, hey, we need this. And when you've
Okay.
got people pushing this,
Okay, Linda, here's the thing there. The people that are calling you, whoever, that's fine, I'm not saying there's anything different than a resident. They do not have the inside knowledge that the staff does at City Hall. That's the ones that should be telling you, we need this, we need that. That's where you gotta be listening to. And right now, there's three of us here that are telling you what we know we do and don't need. We know better than anyone walking down the sidewalk. We're in it every day, firsthand. We know what we need, what we don't. We're not doing it for any other reason. I mean, we're not there to try to make a profit off of saving money. We're trying to save money and keep the city building the right direction. When you say that the affordability, we can afford this, but we can't if we're gonna run the city correctly as we should at this time. And that is, we haven't even discussed yet, which we will in new business, where everybody's getting paid. Right now, we've got employees, every employee at the city, darn near every employee, is working for less than they were last year this time. They took a cut. And then previous year, they did the same. And we're asking these experienced employees that know people by name, they know the businesses, they know how deep the sewer is where, what electrical lines are running where, when to cut what grass. We don't have to tell them. And these people, every year, are taking a cut just in cost of living. And we'll discuss that shortly, but that's where the money, any money that we can afford to do, needs to go. We need to secure our shores
But
first.
back to the point that I first brought up, the motion that I made is to do the interviews. I'm not saying hire one tonight, I'm not saying hire one next
It's
week.
not fair to the interviewees. Hey, I'm offering you a job, but we don't know if we have a job for you, and we don't know what we can pay you. You can't. That's not fair to any interviewee.
Bush is what I think you're doing, but anyway, that's my opinion.
Linda, I'm looking out for the best interest of everything as we got going, as a ball we have rolling. Seriously, everything we've got going, it's going in a good direction. Our whole financing, everything's going in a good direction. And just hang in there, and as you have seen in a year and a half, it's continuing. We can keep it going. The little things, the people that come off the sidewalk or are talking on cyberspace, I don't even care. I shouldn't. I don't need to. You shouldn't. They're not in here every day seeing what's going on and knowing what's going on. There's no way they can know. They're only guessing. And that's not facts. That's not information. We're giving you facts that we know firsthand how to keep things going and going in the right direction. And it's going. It's really, thanks to you guys and the previous board, it's going. We're doing it. We're handling the obstacles. Keep going. There's all the little bumps, and there's all the little rumors and all that. Don't worry about it. I don't. We've had a progressive city the past year and a half or so. Very progressive. And so far it's progressively solid and making the future more solid. We worked a little more on the policy manual, et cetera. That's getting there. We slowly tweak it, we slowly work with it. We're getting there. We can't expect everything in one go round, but.
Well, then, in 2018, it was supposed to have been done, redone. 2018. You're out of compliance.
We're working on
As
it
of
right now.
2018.
We're working on it.
Well, it shouldn't take that long to get a handbook together.
Well, we have the handbook. We're just tweaking it.
But this one's out.
We're
This
tweaking
one
it.
is not even any good.
We're going by it.
Well, you shouldn't.
We are going by it at this
There's a
time.
lot of things in here that you shouldn't be following.
And we give and take for that. And that's not a problem.
Because see, my problem is human resources. I feel like, and this is coming from employees, not people out on the street, have told me that they feel like they're being pulled different directions when they should be able to go to one person and talk and not feel like they have to be afraid what they're going to say to this person, and then it's going to be told to this person, and they want to know who they can trust.
Okay, I'll answer that for you. And that has been addressed with most of the employees. And that has been, chain of command, et cetera, has been straightened out. And it has been cured, seriously.
Okay, this is the second time it's been cured.
That's been, a month from now, you'll still have another one, and we'll have to cure that. That's normal.
Well, this wasn't
We'll have
one,
those.
this
No,
was,
I'm just saying.
this was three.
We won't get them all in one shot, but we have addressed exact thing, what you're talking about, and we have got a good understanding so far. I'm not saying everybody's happy with the results,
Probably not.
but we do have an understanding of how, what's what, run where. Because before, they were all worried, they're worried about each board member, they gotta link up with them and be good with them. It's like, no, don't worry about this, don't worry about the mayor, you worry about your supervisor. You take care of your job under your supervisor. Your supervisor worries about the next one above him, et cetera. And we have got good understanding that it's going. I'm not saying everybody will even admit that now, but we have been addressing that. We don't need a PhD to go figure that out. We use common sense, talk to them, and we do have a good understanding going.
Could we let Deidre look at the manual and see what we're out of compliance or if we're missing something or anything like that?
Well, I have some things marked. you don't have to pay attention to them if you don't want to, but I marked some things
See,
in
Brenda,
here.
if you bring this to our
I mean-
attention,
I
not
did.
necessarily in the meeting, but bring it to us and we can start working on it.
Have I not?
And Murray's been working on it. Well, that's why Murray's been working on it. See, that's good. You're doing exactly what we expect of you. That is excellent.
Anyway,
And I mean, I can look at whatever you want me to. I don't know that that factors into your cost-saving measures.
No, it does not.
No, I was just trying to figure out what needs to be updated and what is out of date and, you know, the things like there's even vacation days that's not in there that should be in there. And job description should be in there. Everybody's job description should be labeled where they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, who's supposed to do what.
And that was actually pushed out over a year ago. That
And we
was
have
needed
written
to be
out all
done.
the job descriptions for every department. We've been working on that. We have that.
But I guess my point is, everybody keeps on asking, why? Why do you want this? I feel like we're left out of the loop, like you say. I feel like sometimes as aldermen, we don't get told things, and we find out things out on the street. They're like, well, didn't you hear this? No, nobody told me. So I feel like if better communication all around would be
I agree.
beneficial to
I-
everybody, even,
I
you know,
agree
the
100%
people,
with you.
the business owners, everybody.
And that communication would take more effort, I'm gonna say it on all our parts, but for
Everybody.
aldermen, need to come into City Hall and talk more. You do, I know you do.
I know,
I'm
no,
not
I
saying you
don't, no,
You
no,
have.
I know I don't
You used
anymore,
to be in there
because
all the time.
I have a job now that I leave
Oh,
Mountain
okay, you
View
were.
about 5:30 in the morning, and I don't get back to Mountain View till about 5:30 in the
But when
evening.
you did, that was how you do it,
I
and
did.
that, everybody's got jobs, so I don't expect or ask that of anyone. If you've got time, that's great. I am proposing something a little later in this thing that might help that too, might rectify that. Because that is the whole key, is communication between us and the public. You guys, you four, are 100% the public's voice.
Well, they communicate with me, they'll text me or call me or whatever and tell me what's going on since I've not been here. But I guess my next question is, if he brought it up, are you telling him, no, he cannot ask to have interviews? Is that
I'm
what
not
you're
telling
telling
you
me?
that, no. No, that's up
There's
to
a
the board.
motion on the floor, we have to
That's
vote
up to
on
the board.
Oh, okay.
No, no. I'm saying it wouldn't be fair to the people that are
I think we
interviewing.
need to have the interviews.
Okay,
And I
there you
think
go.
we've already discussed as far as the job description and the actual line in.
That's up to you guys. You guys have a vote.
I'm not saying that they're gonna be there or they'll even show up. And the main thing is because the reason why it got halted was back underneath John's recommendation for waiting for the audit to come through.
Mhm.
That's up to you guys. If you guys want to do that to them. But how are we holding this? How is this an interview for a position? And how can we legally do it? I don't want to get into trouble there. Do we need to?
We have the
post it
applicants,
first?
they were.
You've already posted and received applicants.
Is there any time limit there that we need to be aware of?
As far as I've ever seen court case wise, there's no solid requirement that cities post at all.
Okay, wow.
But the applications that we already received, they would have to be updated or completely redone.
No,
No,
not
they
unless
just
something has
accept-
changed.
Haven't done the
They
interview.
don't have to be updated.
So you're not gonna open it up 5 months later?
If you go to McDonald's and you put in an application, every 90 days, the application's expired.
Ours is supposed to be
Thank you.
6 months.
That's what.
Say it again.
Ours is supposed to be 6 months. Anything after 6 months is considered you have to reapply again.
Well, we can ask them for,
I just mean like, address may have changed, their phone numbers may have
Right.
changed, job, all that.
It may not be available.
we can solicit all four applicants and see what they're going to do.
We'll have to take a vote on it though.
Take a vote on it.
Yep.
I don't want to do that.
I don't think- We need to vote on what you have on the floor, because you had a motion and a second. I don't remember what. should
It's a
be
motion to open to set an interview for next Tuesday at 2:30, which is very quick and
Or it would
specific.
be the 19th, you said, if we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So would the 19th be that?
Yeah. I'm negotiable on the interview dates, that's just what I,
19th would be good.
Yeah, it gives them time,
okay.
but leaving them out there hanging is not right either.
Okay, how are we wording what? How is the motion worded so that we can get it down?
And a motion to open to set interview, and Larry did a second.
Okay, we have a second. All right, is there further discussion? And vote. Linda?
Aye.
Brenda?
Aye.
Murray?
Aye.
So you guys can,
So
Get
are
hold
you
of them.
setting interviews?
but you should have an amendment there to add in the fact that you wanted them to update their application, their resume. I'm sure that's in there.
When are you setting interviews? What day?
Did Jen say the 19th was better for Jens?
You guys can come up with whatever dates you want.
Yeah, 2 o'clock good with you, or 2:30 good with Jens, or you want to go later?
Do it
You wanna
later in
do
the
3?
afternoon.
Huh?
I can't take off work.
Okay. What time's good for you?
4 o'clock.
Okay.
I can be here for
Can I make it 5 o'clock?
4. Thank you.
Should we allow them an hour and then set times so they don't have to half an hour?
30 minutes.
30 minutes each.
Who all do you want in on the interview process, other than the 4 of us and John and Eddie and,
And the recorder. Sarah's the recorder.
I think that, does she have to be here?
Deidre's not here in the hiring process.
I think.
And if Sarah
Okay.
couldn't make it, Eddie could do the recording too.
All right, we've got to do old business.
I'd rather make sure that,
We're done with old business. Now, we'll do new business. All right, new business. Clifford verdict to address the council. Where's my timer? I don't have a timer. There you go.
This is gonna be a short discussion. The state of Missouri already beat you to it. Retailers will be notified by Friday that it is against the law to put any dog in a shopping cart. It's against state law. They'll be notified by Friday.
You didn't catch a bill number, did you? What bill? what-
No, I just got a thumbnail of the bill from the health department,
Wow. Wow. Good news.
so it's done.
So are you gonna notify Walmart all by yourself?
No, but it's.
No, it's health department is. And it's not a mandatory thing, or it's not a voluntary thing. Management will be mandatory to enforce it. If not, and they get a lot of complaints, the health department will shut them down.
So it's out of our hands. Cool. Good news.
So that's
Good
it.
news.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Man, that timer's still going. You sure you don't want?
you get to use it very
Okay, golf course supervisor to Ty Lewis to speak to council.
Good evening, sir.
Good, how are you doing this evening?
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Right,
Thanks, sir.
yes. I spoke to you guys last year about this time about our early order program for chemicals. I did not have all of this information last year, but this year I do. Between the months of May and October, I spray the greens at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, so that's equals out to be around 20 to 30 times a growing season. There's a couple different ways that we can purchase chemicals, and that is, I can do it, I broke it down here, like price per application, so every time I spray an app of Secure Action or Daconil, those, like per app for 18 greens is roughly $240. I did not put the dates that I spray these chemicals out there, but what I'm asking for is permission to enroll in the early order program. Last year, we enrolled in it, and it saved us roughly 15 to 18% on the total bill versus putting an order in a week before and just getting $400 here, $500 hit here of chemicals. We're talking about saving close to $4,000 if I can just put the order in. They need to have an answer by the end of this month. And so,
When's the due date? Or not, when is it?
oh, and then it matures, there
When's
you
it
go,
due to come in?
May.
May.
And that helps because April is when we get all of our money coming in for memberships. And so that hit. I've not been able to see the flow of money going through, but I know that we don't have to put the money out right now when there's no golf business taking place. And so that helps. But because it is a number bigger than what I'm approved to buy,
Yep.
in one way, it's not, and in another, it depends on how you look at it. If I was just to buy one application at a time, it's within my limit. I'm just asking to buy all 30 applications at one time.
You said save $4,000.
And it saves $4,000.
This year. How much?
Saves $4,000, and then if you, part of that early order program is you get a rebate check back at the end of the year. And so this year, I think we got $2,400 back. So when you include that, it was close to $6,000 that we got back. And then where it says agency pricing, so one of the chemical makers is Syngenta. Syngenta has about 5 or 6 of these chemicals that I spray. It doesn't matter if I go to Lindell, if you represented Lindell's chemical, turf grass chemicals, and you represented Brenda's turf grass, you guys can't sell Daconil for different prices. The chemical company sets the price, and so they have to, you can't try to undercut Brenda. What the price is what the price is. They don't, it's agency pricing, so there's no, you can't.
Really no middleman.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of competition there.
No, there's very little competition. The competition comes in on just your area and how big of a zone you can control. But the chemical companies control how much money the distributors make. So I don't know what I am asking for other than permission to have my meeting with my rep, and I would like to participate in it just because it's at the end of the day, it's a better deal for the golf course.
I make a motion to allow the golf course to participate in the early purchase plan of these chemicals.
You have a second?
I second it.
Discussion? Question?
Vote, you got any questions? Okay.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome.
Aye.
Can I have just one more minute of y'all's time? Thank you guys so much. Yes, thank you. Thank you guys so much. I've had an unbelievable first year working here, and if you guys ever have questions or want to come out and see or listen to the plan that I have in place for where it's going, I would love to buy you guys lunch, and I'll cook your burger, and we'll go right around the golf course. So Thank you guys
I'll
very
wait
much.
till it snows down and we'll go do that.
Yeah,
Have you had problems with groundhogs out there?
no groundhogs and no,
It's because they're all at my place.
let me take that back. We actually have a count of how many we have eradicated. And right now, I bring my dog to work, and he's winning with 13. And then there's, some of us have in between 5 and 10. But,
Keep up the good work.
but
Thank you.
Did you get your fox problem eradicated in there?
we did, and this is crazy. When I got that eradicated, my foresight was very poor. Because what do foxes eat? Squirrels. And I've had the biggest squirrel population. And they're running around, digging up and burying their acorns in the greens right
How
now.
did the wildflowers through the conservation?
Oh, yes.
go?
Thank you. We are in the, I've made my second application, so in order to have that, it takes a year of prep work. So I've made my second application and I have very bare ground, over 2 acres of the golf course. And then this fall, it's called frost seeding, and so you go out and right after it snows, you sprinkle the seed on the snow, and then the thaw heave of the top inch will work the seed in. So this time next year, we will have, is when you'll get to see it. Right now, all it looks like is just dirt.
Well, I'm excited to
But
see
it is working, and I think it's, there's a couple really neat things that we're doing, we're about a month away from having a putting green for the first time in quite a while, and I'm putting a chipping green in that is no expense, it's just using some dead space and some stuff that we have laying around to make that, so.
Sprayer working good?
It's working unbelievable. No, get it, so the new sprayer came in. The day it came in, I told Ernie, I said, you know what, I just hope that that old sprayer, like, dies, and it would be like, it just giving me a hug, because it got us through the season. I'm not kidding you. 10 minutes later, Ernie got on it to go spray something, because the new one, we didn't have it all hooked up yet, and it died. And so, but we didn't skip a beat. It held out for the season for us, but now we have.
For the near future, keep in mind, and you might want to contact the people with the setting up the Buck Nelson Days.
Yes,
They got an opportunity to have a lot of people in town that, 4 days.
yes.
You could have some
We've
cool
been
activities.
I've talked to
me.
Robin, and that time of year makes me nervous to like advertise something,
Well, that's up to you.
because that's,
Yeah.
what I do want is to have, if it's nice and beautiful, I want to have something that says, come out and enjoy a round of golf while totality hits us. But,
Yeah, it's up to your discretion to take care of it.
But it hasn't been done.
You're gonna try to override.
no, you just want me to know that,
We've got something
absolutely.
brewing.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you all.
Yeah, you went over a little.
Sorry.
You owe me.
I didn't see that.
Well, I didn't call it.
Okay, Bill 1379 to become ordinance 1745.
An ordinance amending the city code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View. Whereas Ezra Grenier and Jesse Henry have jointly filed an application to divide one lot located within the city limits of Mountain View, Missouri into 2 separate lots. And whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the city code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, granting the requested subdivision. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that chapter 42 of the city code of ordinances be amended to add the following paragraph. Chapter 42 zoning, subchapter D exceptions, section 42.635 amendments, number 9, subdivision by Ezra Grenier and Jesse Henry to allow for the creation of the following described lot. No.
No.
No, ma'am. No.
Just a job, a property description after that, a mile long. This was brought up to us before, and you had to you had to get more
Yeah.
information to make it
Yeah, it
right.
actually went through planning and zoning a couple of months ago, but I had to talk with Ezra a little bit and figure out what exactly they were wanting and make sure that we had it right.
Do we need to do a second on this too, since it's an ordinance?
We will have to, I just don't know if it needs to be the same
Okay.
or a different night. I don't know.
Is
if
there
it
a
matters.
rush to do it tonight?
I know it's been going on for a while, I know they would like to see it finalized.
It only take us up to 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay, that was the first reading.
I make a motion that we accept bill number 1379, ordinance 1745.
Have a second?
I'll second
Second. Any further discussion? Linda?
it. Aye.
Murray. Okay, Murray, and then Brenda.
Aye.
You go out of sequence. Okay, that passes. Second reading.
An ordinance amending the city code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View, whereas Ezra Grange and Jesse Henry have jointly filed an application to divide one lot located within the city limits of Mountain View, Missouri into 2 separate lots, and whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the city code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, granting the requested subdivision, be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that chapter 42 of the city code of ordinances be amended to add the following paragraph. Chapter 42, zoning, subchapter B, exceptions. Section 42.635, amendment. Number 9, subdivision by Ezra Grenier and Jesse Henry to allow for the creation of the following described lots.
You have a motion? Brenda?
You can do it.
You ready?
Motion
No, I make a motion
to accept.
to accept bill number 1379, ordinance number 1745.
We have a
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Vote, Linda?
Aye.
Brenda?
Aye.
Murray?
Aye.
Passes. Okay, next one's bill number 1380 to become ordinance 1746, amending chapter 2 of the motor vehicles and traffic, article 3 operation.
This is second reading, right?
First reading.
First.
An ordinance amending the criminal and traffic code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View. Whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the criminal and traffic code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri. Be it ordained by the city council for the city of Mountain View, Missouri as follows. That chapter 2 of the criminal and traffic code of ordinances be amended as follows. Chapter 2, motor vehicles and traffic, article 3, operation. Section 2-360, electronic communication device use of while driving prohibited when citation of law defines school bus operation prohibited acts inapplicably when penalties for violations, search of device, right to decline, preemption.
Basically, we can't use the cell phone mode again.
Hands-free, yeah.
That's what the state passed that on to us.
This was Jamie had
Okay.
asked us to put on.
I make a motion to accept bill number 1380, ordinance 1746.
Motion by Murray, second by Brenda. Any further discussion?
And yes, you're right, what it is just copying what happened from state.
Linda?
Aye.
Brenda? Murray?
Aye.
Passes. Council to discuss approval of cost of living increase for employees. And that's where, I said I'd discuss it later with you guys, and that is, the employees, the biggest problem we have with the employees right now is they're gonna have a hard time just like we are, financially. And they're going down every year because of the cost of living going up, as we all know. I don't have to get into all that. And federal, even Social Security went 8.7%. I really feel that this whole budget we should have, which we didn't because we didn't have the audit done to make sure we could afford it. And to me, that's one of the highest priorities I have on the docket right now. And that is to at least compensate our employees so they can at least stay the living standard they have been in the last few years. They've been going down every year. They're 5 to 8% every year, 5 to 10% every year. And my not saying it's a raise, I'm saying it's a cost of living allowance adjustment. Because they, how do they go do the same thing, their payment didn't go down, you know, their house payment, car payment, everything went up. Their gas, eggs, everything. So here we are, earning less this year than they were earning last year, by a minimum of 8.7%.
Last year, we increased before the actual federal government came in, on an average, over 10%, that's across the board.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with cost of living increases. That seems to reward more of the higher earnings and punish the lower earnings. I think it needs to go by merit, and it's the same thing that I've gone through and discussed, and it's part of the merit when it comes through for budget. The supervisors of each department need to set what the minimum rate of bringing somebody in at those positions are, and what the scope is for each of those positions. That way, you're not saying, hey, you get this percentage of raise. Well, when you're making down at $10 an hour, that percentage is a lot lower than if you're making at the top end of it. So you're actually rewarding somebody more, or preferential treatment, I guess, and it's not based on a merited situation. It works good with Social Security and some of the other things because everybody's paid the same. So you have an even set, and they're in a, and the same thing, there's a bracket. And that's because of what you paid into, but that is the same set. Same thing goes by those merited situations, and that's the same thing that we have discussed before, and I'm going to continue to stay on it. I think that the supervisors need to come in and set what their job descriptions, the minimum and what the maximums for those are. And those, if you look at, are throughout most of the cities that are up to date as far as with what the pricing, the billing and stuff is. But yes, we beat that ahead of time with our raises before that actual increase happened. That was something that we made as a priority when we came in.
Okay, very, okay. I respect that, and your point is correct in most ways. When we came in, the entire workforce in the city, from police to the grave diggers, doesn't matter, everybody, were underpaid by far. We all knew that. We all compared that to all the neighboring communities, which we can say this is a community. When you start comparing them, we all go almost to the same grocery stores. We have similar taxes, we have similar everything, gas pumps, everything. Okay. Our employees in the city were drastically underpaid for their professions. We got all the amounts, et cetera. And I'm going to say it's right here is what everybody else is getting paid. Okay. Ours were down here. We didn't know our budget. We didn't know, we knew our budget, we didn't know our, what do you call it, audit yet, so we didn't know our final figures. So we guesstimated and brought them up about midway to be not over, not, we didn't even catch them up with any of the neighboring communities. Check every
We did, they raised,
position.
they raised again right after we did.
But at that time, we didn't make them even. We still were under every community here for every trade we have, for the actual trades. I'm not saying minimum wage, but for the trades. We compromised and came up halfway. That's all we did. And we promised employees as soon as we do an audit, which still took over a year later, that if you stick with us, keep it going, you know, we didn't want to lose them, we would make it up to you in the end. We're gonna do what's right. We're gonna get you up there. Now, I'm not proposing getting them up there at this time. We won't be. This 8.7%, they won't get them up there. They won't be caught up down neighboring communities. But you're mixing up what they're making and living on and going down every year compared to rewarding them. This isn't a reward, this isn't a raise. I'm all for giving many people in our departments raises. I'm not saying that this time because we're tight and we got a lot of projects going. If I had, to me, I would tell every supervisor, yes, come up with suggestions for raises. That's different. Merits, I'm all for merit-based raises. Minimum, $1, many. Shoot, we got supervisors that need way more just because of what they performed this past year. No problem at all. All I'm asking for is pay them the same as what they've been paid last year or the year before.
Current
They
inflation
taking a
rate,
cut.
current inflation rate for last year is 3.2%.
Yeah, look, read what you read.
That's
Believe
the
me,
last
government
year.
wouldn't give Social Security 8.7%.
That was last
out of
year.
the United
This
States.
year, you watch, it isn't going to be the same.
If we add up the years that they haven't gotten it, they've taken a cut of I don't know how many percentage. I didn't calculate that. It'd be a whole lot higher than 8.7. I only picked 8.7 because it's across the board fair for everybody at the city. We're not rewarding bad behavior, good behavior, nothing. We're only giving them equal pay to what they should have been getting, what they were getting several years ago or even 2 years ago. They've gotten a cut every year. So, you know, and Social Security went along with 8.7. So to me, that's a good guideline. I would trust that. And I believe that we should, it's not merit, it's not thanking them, it's just giving them what they should have. If you were making $10 an hour last year, you should be making $10 an hour this year, not $9.95.
So we are in October. We're gonna be addressing this again in January with
Yes.
our new budget.
Absolutely. And right now, they're working, being nice. We've had, now see,
So,
you guys hear information off the street. I get people, many of our employees, in fact, more than half of our employees, in my office, talking to me. So that's firsthand information, et cetera. And they're here because I said, don't worry, the board knows, we're gonna try to do the best we can when we get the audit done, hang in there. They've got applications out, had applications out to other communities and thrown them away because I told them that I think the board will respond and we should pay you what. We won't get you up to what you're getting the neighbors, but we're gonna at least give you what you were getting paid a little while ago. It's because they were ready to go, many. You start talking about losing half your workforce, and we're talking qualified people, not people that, if they go, we can replace them. Good luck with our job, we'll replace them at our wages. So we really need to keep them here, at least at the wage they've been getting.
so if we gave them the 8.7 right now,
Yes,
and come January 1st, we do another 8.7 again, we've increased every employee in this whole city almost 20% of their wages.
first of all, that would almost get them to where they should be, but that's okay, I'm not gonna go there this time, okay? Because we're lucky that they've stuck with us and your electrical problem just recently, the pole went down. On a Sunday, they fixed your house, all the neighboring houses, the church, in no time. They had it done before midnight. That was a major thing. We didn't have these experienced crews and knowing what they're doing, where they're doing, what the equipment is. We'd have been done. We'd have been calling out, getting help from everywhere else, and it'd cost us a whole lot more than this whole package would cost the entire city in a year. I guarantee you, that's one instance. These guys are available, and then they had a second occurrence that same day, simultaneously, and they handled it. People came in and handled it, whether it be for their crew or other crews. That we have dedicated people.
So you want to do it only to electric?
No.
Okay, because I'm telling you right now, I'd much rather give it to the trash than I would to the electric.
Well, I'm saying, this is
No,
not.
and that's what I'm saying, is now you're looking at across the board. But when you look at that and you look at the dollars and the cents, the people that need it are at the lower end. And that's why I say the merit-based and also the supervisors that come in, because they're the ones that are tracking that. When you do a percentage across the board, when you make more money, that means you get more
Yes.
money. When you're down at the lower end and you're telling me that now these people are more important than these, and I say no.
Okay,
But I want to ask Eddie, what do you think? Do you think that the same thing with bringing the supervisors in? What is your, because ultimately they work for you.
So, I agree with you on the percentage-based raise. That was something that always bugged me. Of course, you know, when I started in here and they're talking about 2%, 3% raise. Yeah, I mean, you're higher paid employees, definitely got more of a raise. I like the idea of a merit base. I did reach out to the employees and they had them do evaluations on theirs and got most of those back. I don't have them all back. I'll have to reach out to some of the other supervisors, but personally, I like a merit-based raise. it's more of an incentive for somebody to do a better job as well. You know, if they know that their pay raise is going to be directly affected by, you know, their quality of work is directly going to affect their pay raise, you'll see a lot better work out of somebody. Other than thinking, well, I'm automatically gonna get this, whether I put in the bare minimum or if I'm busting my knuckles. You know, I do like the idea of a merit-based raise. I will say, just something to consider when you're looking at hiring an administrator. If we all see the cost of living increase when we go to the grocery store, we go to the gas station, or anything. Anytime you spend money, it's a lot bigger hit now than it was 2 years ago, or a year ago, or even 6 months ago in some cases. So, you know, we've got some darn good crews out there, you know, and I agree with you with sanitation. They're probably the most underpaid employees we have for what they do and what they put up with on a daily basis. And that's not diminishing anybody, you know, everybody, they're all, I've seen, even though, they haven't got a raise like they was hoping to get in July, the last, I would say month, it seems like we've got a pretty good fluid crew right now. You know, we've got a guy that's out currently, there was 4 or 5 different guys that pitched in today to help kind of fill his shoes, and he'll be out for the next couple of days. I haven't seen that in a long time. But anyhow, getting back to what I was talking about, if you do end up hiring an administrator without adjusting the wages to at least accommodate for the added, you know, the inflation, there could be some blowback.
I'd like to interject a few things there. Now, I appreciate that, but you guys are still mixing up a raise and cost of living allowance. I'm not asking for a raise at this time. I will be, but not this time. A raise should be merit-based on how they work, punctuality, etc. And that is an incentive, etc. I'm asking for cost of living allowance just to meet the same bills they had last year that they can pay this year, period. And yes, it sounds like, and Eddie, I agree with you, it sounds like the guy that gets $20 an hour is getting a bigger raise. He's not. If you're gonna pay everybody at the city $20 an hour, that's true. We could keep it the same. But if this guy's worth 15, then his percentage is that worth of that amount. That is completely fair in our American system. This isn't Russia. We're not all based the same. It's not a one flat thing. If you work, a person that's making $20 an hour, a nickel an hour raise means nothing to him. A person that makes $3 an hour, a nickel is a big jump. You see this percentage difference? Now, if you put that percentage in respect to $10 an hour, $20 an hour, 8.7%, yes, because he's already worth $20 an hour. You give him that 8.7%. Not, you each get a nickel. No, this guy's worth 20 for what he does. His responsibilities are more. The percentage should be equal. That is an equal, fair-based payment when you start doing it. But keep in mind, this is not, I'm not asking for a raise at this time. All I'm asking for is pay them so that they can maintain the same lifestyle this year as they did last year and the previous year. That's it. Not a raise. Raises are incentive-based. Raises are when they work hard, etc., and punctuality, that we're here to work every day. That's a different story. I'm not going there. You see the difference?
I have a little bit of a problem with the 8.7. I think it's a little bit high.
That's all up for discussion.
And I'm kind of like Murray, because most places are around 3 to 4%. But we're going to be revisiting this basically in 3 months.
Well, right
And I
now,
would
we're
like
visiting it late.
Well, I
This
know
is
that,
July.
But I would like our supervisors, whenever we do the budget,
'Cause that's-
to have everything so we can bring them where they need to be.
Exactly, so what if we did, and, I mean, of course, I love the sound of 8.7%, don't get me wrong, but, you know, whatever y'all decide, you know, if we decided to do the cost of living at this time, then whenever we do the budget, we'll see what the G-Work says, whether it's January or it's July or whatever. At that time, look at a merit-based, anything above and beyond that.
That'd be a raise.
Yeah, that would be a raise.
There's a difference.
The
Yep.
the only thing I have a problem with, if we do the cost of living, that's 8.7, and then we, like we've done our budget, we're gonna come back in and,
Hopefully redo it if we can pretty
yeah,
soon.
on, since we've redone it, it's gonna be, I'm assuming it's probably gonna be January 1st. So there's 20%, and you got Jim down here that's still not making, so then we raise him $3 an hour. He's got, even though he's raising his cost of living, his salary has jumped up. Well, that doesn't look so like a lot of money for that one person, but you take that over however many, how many employees we got in the city? 50?
Well,
Under 50.
just under
50.
60.
You
We have under
multiply that over 50, that's a chunk of
We got
money.
57.
So, just me, myself, and this is me thinking out of the box, I would either go 3.5% or 4% and then give them a merit raise in whenever we do our budget.
I think they would appreciate something
Yeah,
because we hear it.
and I'm hearing that.
I mean, we hear it every day, all day, constantly. I mean,
The next part of that I have, and I'm not going to the raise part at this time, is this has been, we were behind since July, and they've been holding out to see what we do since we took over this budget, and our excuse was, and I guess it's an excuse, I think there's a reason more or less, was that we didn't know where we stood because of the audit, we needed to see where we're at. So, if you guys decide on a number, I only picked that number because it was a federal number, and I liked it on Social Security, I thought that was good, so I thought, that's what I'll go with. But you guys pick a number that you're satisfied with, and I believe it should be retroactive to the beginning of this budget. Because we did budget in 10% at the beginning of the budget, 10% over what it was last year for the 6 months. So we have it in there, the money's there, there's no reason why we can't put it out and give it to them retroactive as of, what, July 1st or July 1st? And pick a
I
number
don't,
that
I
you're
don't
satisfied
agree
with.
with the retroactive part, period.
They've been waiting this
We're
long.
getting it, they've been waiting is because of the fact of somebody was going through and filling as far as telling them that's what was going to happen. And that was the point of this, because we had the same things coming through and nothing was discussed with raises when supervisors came through in April, May, and June. That wasn't in with it.
Like,
Remember, it got put on hold because of the audit and that was by your recommendations, nobody
It was
else's.
the right thing to do.
Now, you're also, because when you start looking at the funding and stuff for that, when you retrograde back that far,
Yeah,
the total across the
yeah,
thing,
it was.
how many months?
We figured it out, it comes within our 10%, and then we figured it out at 8.7%. We figured it at 8.7 if we had.
What's our normal monthly budget as far as for salary right now? 100 grand? 120 grand? And then you also got, oh, hold on, you also got to add in what goes in towards the retirement part of that too, because that goes in for that same part.
We figured at 8.7%, we had the money budgeted in there, so it's there. All we have to do is, and if you pick a number, that's fine, but we figured it all the way from July 1st. Basically, I feel we owe it to them. That's what I feel, but that's me. You guys gotta feel that way. In reality, especially the next budget, we should be talking about bringing them up to get them level with the surrounding communities. so that we don't lose our people to other communities.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've done back when we gave them such a huge raise, because some of the,
Yeah.
you know, some of the people we gave $2, $3, $4 an hour raises, and that's just unheard of. Just to get, I know we need to get them up there, but how long have you worked? How many times has your boss come in and give you a $4 an hour raise? Not very many, I've never had one. But
No comment.
that's, you know, that's where I'm kind of looking at is, you know, if we're gonna do the merit system.
That's raises.
Yeah.
See, I'm still.
Well, I know
This
what
is
you're
just
saying.
cost of living.
But if you do the cost of living and then cost of living again and then merit, you're gonna be,
Well, the merit is up, that's still up to you, that's later discussion. All we need to do is just say, look, you were able to afford that Lexus last year, you should be able to afford the same payments this year. Not you have to sell it because the eggs went up and the gas went up. That's all. I'm not saying that you go out and trade it on a Cadillac, but they can at least maintain where they've been, what they're used to. And next, like I say, when we get to the merit raises, that's another story, because
We were
we've got
the
other
ones that
communities
actually
grabbing people.
changed as far as the way that normally happens with city raises. City raises for the last 21 years have only been a percentage period, end of discussion,
Right.
that's done. And then the only other way it changed is if they changed responsibilities, going up to a team lead or to a supervisor. That is pretty much how all city
And
raises.
we've got-
We changed that.
And we've got a bright board.
Because it
that
also
knows
balanced
what they
out
need.
the amount of services that were provided, because the biggest expenses that we have go in towards the equipment and other things. And then when we start looking at other communities started getting rid of services and outsourcing. And that's something else that we discussed a year and a half ago, you and I, about making sure that we held on to all the
They
services.
still can grab our guys. Look at the police department. Look at what we turned around there. We got it turned around. The chief did his homework. He turned it around. What was the key factor? Money.
Well, it's
Key
going for
factor.
middle management too.
Key factor was money, period. Money. Once he had no applications, 6 months straight. The minute it changed the starting pay, we readjusted his whole budget. 6 applications, boom, within that first, it's either 1 week or 2 weeks. And we grabbed 4 of them. It makes a difference. And here we are, already have experienced people that know everything going on, know people by name. And we're risking letting them go somewhere else for another $4,000 a year. I can't blame them. I blame us if we let them go, if we start losing them. Our biggest problem when we first started here 2 years ago was the police department came to us and said, we got turnover. We don't know what to do. We gotta get this turnover fixed.
but what you're saying, if we lose them, that's a merit raise, that's not a cost of living raise.
Right now, I know, I'm only compromising with you guys. I'm just saying right now, let's just give them a cost of living. Let's just get something in there so that they can maintain the lifestyle they have already. Otherwise, the other communities, one of my jokes when I meet with the mayors, in fact, I'm meeting next Tuesday. One of our jokes is, who are you training for us this month? You know, we need some guys in this in the water department over here. Train some more. I'm gonna hire them out. That's what their jokes are. And they've got that power. So let's just get it close. That's what the raise is, get it close.
I know.
Again, just
I know.
cost of living.
I know in the past, on the previous councils, which has been 12, 13 years, I can't remember how long I've been on, but the most we ever done was a 3%. Usually it was 2% across the board.
And what was cost of living at that time?
I'm not sure, but that's when, like Murray said, that's when we changed all of it because it wasn't catching it. But
Right, it doesn't keep up. We've
What
got
do
to
you
keep
guys
up with
think?
times. We gotta keep our crews going, we gotta keep the incentive up. I'm not asking for any raises for nobody right now. They hate me for saying this probably, but I am asking to let them maintain their lifestyle. That's it. And if you don't think we should, and that's where the administrator and all these other expenses come into play. We're trying to save money here, to pay and keep what we have here.
Here's the monthly.
We don't want to start losing
I think
people.
I'm missing like a check somewhere, so it's over 150.
$150,000 a month.
Out of a budget of 600,000 a month.
I go by what's in the bank. I don't go by budget, because the budget is something that you spitball.
No, you gotta go by budget.
No,
You do not go by what's banked.
you
The
can't
bank
spend
does
what
not
isn't
take
in
into
the
effect
bank.
what we owe, what we're gonna be owing, what we need in the future. You cannot go by bank.
A budget can be
Bank can be at
changed.
zero.
The amount of money that you have in the bank cannot.
And you
That
could have
is why
zero
you
in the bank,
balance
and
out.
you still have a budget going, and you still have the money flowing. You cannot ever, in accounting, go by what's in the bank. That is homeowner accounting, and that works for a homeowner.
Oh, no, that's business, or else they go bankrupt. That's what happens.
I got 40-some years in it, and let me
That's-
tell you, I have never been in
But without
bankruptcy.
knowing, I mean, I get what you're saying, but without knowing what's outstanding, what's
Right.
not come through, you can't go by that
Yeah.
bank total. And when I worked at the bank for 7 years, people would come in and say, I still have checks, why do I not have any money? Because they would, but they.
See, that's
they're
where, if
told
we
you
had a,
have to know everything that's coming in and out, you have to know every single day, because
You had a
that will
financial
change
officer, you had a
completely
report every month.
once those bills are pushed through. I mean,
that's where if
That's
we had a
projection,
financial.
but I'm talking about for what you're looking at spending right now.
but what I'm saying is, you can't just look at the total like I gave you today. You can't look at that total because there are still outstanding checks
Right.
that haven't cleared. That doesn't mean that that's exactly how much money.
And that's why when I look at things, I look at between 3 and 6 months, always.
I mean,
But if you're looking at 8.7% at current salary back to
July 1st.
July 1st, you're looking at $65,000, which is the same thing of what he's wanting to fix the pool.
And the point
They-
is,
they really want to spend
You
from
don't have the money for that,
we won't have approved 6 months from now or 3 months from now. Which one do you rather have?
but that's what I'm saying.
$65,000
And
in that
when you
bank
retrograde back, that was not something that was accounted for or allotted for because it didn't come to.
We've been accounting for it since day one, since I got in here. We've been accounting for it. Every time you guys want to spend money on, say, what we don't think we need at this time, we're filling in. Eddie and I and Sarah have been filling in so that we don't need an administrator, so we can have 100,000 towards this 65,000.
And you're not
We've been
talking about
accounting for all this.
65,000 over a year, you're talking about
That's
65,000.
next year.
No, you're talking about.
Next year would be double that.
You're talking about $65,000 at the end of this meeting,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
End of discussion.
Yeah.
That's coming out of an account that by all means, you're less than 200,000 in after bills
All right,
paid.
if you said it's 150,000, I didn't do the math, but you said 150,000 for how many
roughly
months?
150,000 for payroll.
How many months?
That's for 1 month.
No, how many months did you, back to
That's
July
3,
1st?
July, August, September, and then we're in October
So
now.
4 months?
Yeah.
So that's $600,000. We're gonna take 8%, 9%. That's about right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Do you
I'm
want-
good.
Or do you want the money in the bank? Which one do you want? Do you want the facilities running, the electric, the water? the
Well, if you
grass
don't have the
mowing?
money the next
Or do you
month
want
to
the money
pay
in the bank?
them.
We
then
did,
what?
we're flowing. Oh, we're flowing. We wouldn't even suggest it otherwise. I'm not, we're not, and that's where, if we had a financial consultant with the degrees on the wall, then all of us could take his word for it. You
Well,
know,
right now, it's what
he's
we're
responsible.
doing, is it's going back and forth, but we're seeing.
Right now, you're going, you can only go off of what the three of us come up with. You have nothing else to go on. And we are giving our best
And
knowledge
that's
of
the-
what's going on.
That's the biggest thing that I'm
Month
wondering
to month.
too, is because it seems like some of this is changing from communication to communication as to whichever way it needs to be sold. I'm not one for selling, I'm not one for emotions, I want to see the facts.
Okay, and what
And the
that's
facts and stuff that are there, the facts of the matter is you're asking for a $65,000 check. And the other part of this is that still isn't going to do what it is that you're trying to sell.
You give them the 8.7%. You know, it's all arbitrary and it's all up to you guys. Don't think that I'm in control of the meeting. I'm not in control of what you decide to do.
What
You know,
if-
you come up with a proposal of what you want to make the best of what we have and what we can do to keep our employees and keep everybody happy. I give you my proposal.
What have we done at 3% now, no retroactive back to when? Give them the 3% now and let them know January 1st, whenever we do the new budget, we're gonna do a merit-based raise system and go from that, because they've been doing it for this long. And I'm not wanting to be mean, because I love all of our city employees, but there's a part of me that, you know, we gave them some substantial raises way back, you know, a year or so ago. And if we hadn't have done that, you know, we would have probably lost people, but if we'd just done the cost of living, they wouldn't even be where they're at now. So that would be my proposal.
I'm at 3.3 or 3.4 because that's what our current annual rate of increase is as far as for it. And then, yes, make up the rest as far as for them. But I'm also, when it comes time for the supervisors, we need to look at each one of what the department stuff is.
Is that a proposal? Is that a motion?
Brenda, what do you think?
I had 3.4, but.
Okay.
I'm good with 3.4. But I don't think we should do the, like you're saying, the back pay up till then.
It starts on the first.
Yeah, and then we're gonna revisit it on,
Supervisor should be noted to have some sort of a documentation to start doing a merit checklist.
They've already
We have
done.
Okay.
That's already been done,
Okay.
so that's what we need for it.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept a 3.4% raise as of the first of this month for the employees.
I'll second that.
Do we have further discussion? Further discussion? I'll make a note that I really think it wasn't enough, or it should have been retroactive, but to thank them for sticking in there, but that's all right. It's your guys' decision, and I'll go along with whatever you guys decide. Murray,
I'm not worried, but Lyndall says,
Lyndall,
yay.
Brenda, Murray,
Aye.
motion passes. Okay, what's next? We only got a couple more hours to go.
Your mayor's.
Oh, mayor's minutes. Mayor's minutes, Pioneer Days, of course, was a success, and I say of course because we had a fantastic town. A lot of people pulled together. It was good. Everything went well. Oh shoot, the biggest thing was, Jason left, but we've got Mason here. The fire department, good thing they were around. The heat, the temperature, we weren't ready for that. The people weren't ready. They weren't dressed for it, etc. We had people dropping left and right. 5 that I seen personally firsthand, and that's not the whole day. They did real good work running around helping everybody. Everybody worked out. The city workers, they kept the trash cans going, they kept order, they kept the barricades up. They did a good job. Everybody, the food was great, and we had the dinners, the breakfast, fantastic. Everybody did a really good job, and then the whole town pulled together with it, so I'm very impressed with that. I don't know what else you want to add, anything about the Pioneer Days?
Did the lady with the seizure on the horses, was she okay?
That was a little girl.
Mark was girl?
Yeah.
I know she is, there's still a little bit of stuff going on there, but I mean, I know she's doing okay.
My question is, did we decide to give the chamber to be able to make the appointments? And
I
then-
wish you would.
And then you will handle the money?
I
Is that
wish you
what-
would. We've asked for that several meetings. I would love
We
it.
didn't have it in the thing, though.
Sarah, the thing I brought you, that the people that renting need to
So we
sign,
need to write it up to be on the next meeting.
did that ever get presented to John or anybody?
I want to make sure that at
We'll
least
do it
we
next
get forward.
meeting.
Okay.
I think that'd be the simplest way to do it.
So anyway, that went good. I know the Buck Nelson Days is coming along, and we're going to appreciate that. You guys are doing good. I do want to make an announcement that I'm going to make a drastic change for the board, and it'll start at the very next meeting. The board is invited, of course, no more than 2 at a time. I think, unless Deidre corrects me, I think we can only have 2 at a time because odds are we'll be discussing this city business.
Correct.
So any 2 shows up, fine. I'll be there every time. 1 hour early before our normal meetings, our normal board meetings, not emergency ones or anything, special meetings. I will be here at 5 o'clock instead of 6. And hopefully one or two of the board members will be here as well. Or show up during that hour. And that is a time when it will be wide open, town discussion, town hall meeting or whatever. West Plains does it really nicely. I like his coffee chats, whatever you call them, fireside chats. Works out great. You can either come in and yell at me and the board, or you can come and compliment us. You can do whatever you want. Keep the cussing to a minimum. But if we need to, we'll end up having security. But I don't want to take up, it's not a waste, but it take up too much of our board time with our town hall style discussion. I get a lot out of it, I think we all do. It's great. But it takes up our whole time, board meetings, and I've got people that want to run for a board or even think about it and say, no way, you guys are there till 11 o'clock at night. Well, that'll alleviate that, and we'll still get your opinions and feelings to us directly, not through the internet. Don't contact me there, you won't get anything. But right here, one-on-one, one-on-two, whoever shows up, we'll have a discussion, and we'll take your ideas under consideration, your criticism, or your compliments, which will probably be most compliments, I'm sure. But that will be the new policy starting the next meeting. I will be here with hopefully a board member or two, and it will be open discussion one at a time, in an orderly fashion, of course. This way, we need to hear from you guys.
Will it be timed, like will they have so much time?
If we will start it just discussing, open discussing, and keep it as very lax as we can. But if it ends up requiring it, it's a good idea. We'll limit it to 3 minutes each. I think that's the egg timer there. But I like them hard. But the eggs don't go there. Anyway, it will really help. It really help the meetings go smoother. Dang it, stop it. And I think that we'll still get your ideas and your criticism and your compliments back and forth. And we can discuss things with you without going through the order. We have to go follow the agenda. We can't just sit here and arbitrarily talk about everything all the time. We'd be here all night every time. So it'll help, I think it'll help the board members and help people that want to be on the board know that we got direct communication, number one. And we'll have time for you and you'll have time for us. Show up an hour early, because I'll be here. Okay, I think that's all I have for mayor's minutes, unless anything, am I missing anything? You guys have anything for the good of the order?
You're not gonna open it up to questions tonight?
We have been, so I won't discontinue it. No, if you have a question, go ahead.
Yeah, I do. I've got a few. And they're basically at Lindell. And I mean, it's nothing here, but I've heard this multiple times. Okay, how many businesses are in Mountain View?
I have no idea right off the top of my
Okay,
head.
well, see, I heard you tonight, and I've heard this before. 5 or 6 business owners. Well, I've also talked to 5 or 6 business owners that are no longer in business. They've absolutely told me, we have never seen in 50 or 60 years a city administrator ever work out. Now, how many people are in Mountain View? We have 2,000 citizens, approximately. You said tonight that you're listening to 10 or 15 people. What are the other 1,900? Brenda, you said the same thing. You have people, 10 or 15 people. Where's the other 1,900?
Workers, I said
And my
workers.
next question would be this. Why are you not asking those people that are calling you to come to the council meetings and present what they want to talk to the council meeting? That's what this is for, I thought, is a business owner, come to the meeting. You know, what I did, I come to the meeting and said something about the stripes out front on First Street. Problem was solved, the angle. As a business owner, not as a citizen, as a business owner. And if there is problems, I would like to see them come out in the open. I mean, because I can remember times where the gentleman was pretty upset that he wasn't getting sewer or water because somebody had promised him such that was on the city council years ago. He owned this place up here. If you, I jokingly said, well, don't take the calls. Well, I mean, but the thing is, when I say you take the calls, yeah, but then you tell them to come to City Hall, because all I am is an alderman at that point, or a person on the city council, or just a person for the city. I can't tell you for sure. It takes all 5 of you up there to say for sure. And when you start talking behind and not communicating everything to everybody, you create problems. That, my question would be, why are you not saying, I'm encouraging those people to come to the meetings and voice their opinions at 5 o'clock now?
Are you a citizen of Mountain View?
Sure am.
I would encourage you in December, if you don't like the job we're doing, to run for this seat. I'd gladly give it up to you.
See, this is what the deal is. You're taking it personal, but
No, I'm
I keep
not.
asking you.
I'm just saying that there's things that goes on up here that the people don't actually know that's going on.
Really? Okay, I heard
So-
Terry tonight say something about the mayor. When you were with Joanne Smith and
I wasn't with
Duncan,
Joanne Smith.
well, but they ran this city pretty much. And I know they did. You have said that you sat over at the coffee shop
No, never
and
did
talked
say
to
that.
him. Oh, yeah, you did, Joe Duncan.
I said at the funeral, never did say that, Calvin.
But
Well,
transparency.
the thing is what I'm getting at is communication.
Okay, we're not here to argue, just give
Yeah, I
us
mean,
your opinion.
what I'm getting at is, it seems like you're listening to 5 or 6 business owners or 10 or 15 people. I asked over 2 months ago, 3 months, probably have it in my notes. Why don't you put out something to ask the people, 2,000 citizens, on the electric bill? What do you feel like about a city administrator? See what you get. Never occurred. Tom sat right here and said, well, I've seen that happen before and it never worked. Well, I don't know. I've seen a city administrator twice before, 3, and it's never worked. Why aren't we going somewhere there? I mean, you say that's fine. Tonight, pay raises. You have no qualms about spending $80,000 a year for a city administrator, it seems like. She proposed 2 people, not 1. When you get 2 people, somebody's got a lot more experience than another person on things.
Is there any further comments?
It's a hard job. I understand that. It really is. And there's a fine line. But just,
Thank you, that's okay, yeah, we are correcting one of them, or helping it with the hour early. If myself and a councilman or 2 are here, we will get input and we'll take it seriously, so that will help a lot with the communication, because we're supposed to be up here, and really, like this open discussion, very few boards do it. But we have no other time to interact with the public. Public works during the day, we're here during the day, it doesn't work. So this way, that extra hour will make it to where we hear it, we're gonna take notes, we're gonna have some, it's the open line of communication between the public and us is gonna definitely make a difference shortly, exactly what you said, and it will work. Yes?
I have only one thing to say, Murray, you know better than, or as well, or as good as any person in this room, the chain of command. You know how important that is. My husband knows how important that is. He was a Marine. Any council member that listens to an employee that is not going through their supervisor and their super. Now, if they've tried that and that hasn't worked, that's one thing. But I'm telling you, as a city and as a business person, I ran a credit and collection department and financial department for 18 years. You got a problem with me? That's fine, you come to me. but you're gonna go through everybody else, just like you do in the military. You start with a private, you go to sergeant, you go up. You don't come to a council member and say, well, they're just not doing this.
Right.
Well, did your boss know about it? No, I ain't talked to them about it.
Thank you, Robin. And we have, like I said very much earlier in the meeting, we have administratively worked on that very well and in the whole, our workforce. So I think we've got that getting straightened out, put it that way. It's never perfect, never will
No,
be,
you always have.
but we're working on it. It is working. Any further comment? Oh,
I'll be nice tonight.
okay.
I'm gonna tell each of you that's sitting up there, you all raised the trash, and you did, you all raised the trash prices. I don't know that you were on it, Brenda, when that happened. But you all have raised a lot in the city, and you just keep doing things. And I think you really need to think about, when you go to hire a city administrator, do you really need him? Because the last one you guys paid almost $90,000, gave him a car, paid the gas. No, you didn't. And no, Murray didn't, and no, Linville didn't, and no, John didn't. And you know what happened when the next group come in and took over? They fired the city administrator, and they fired the clerk. So what makes you think if you hire one, that's not gonna happen when you all are gone? Think about that. So you're gonna give somebody a job, and then they may end up not having it because you're due up this December, and you're due up, Murray, this December. And Linville, I'm running for your position, so be prepared,
Okay, thank you.
because I want it.
Thank you, Lucinda. Okay, there was one thing, luckily I still have the floor. I had amended at the beginning of the meeting about the fire department, and Jason, as he come through the door, reminded me. We should have, I believe, Deidre, that, I'm not sure if it needs to be a resolution or anything, but some form of either gratitude or acceptance or something towards a donor that's going to be donating the money for his new pumper truck. And I say new, it's 58,000 miles, I don't know what else about it, he knows more about it than I do. But we'll be getting that shortly as soon as all the finances is gone and it's being donated.
Okay, so basically what we're going to need to do is that you're going to need to present the donation to the board, and then the board needs to accept it. And since it's, I assume it's not the money, it's the actual item.
Yes.
Okay, then there's not really much earmarking that you have to do. There's nowhere else for that to go, but, you know, just on the record officially say that it is offered, accepted, and going to the fire department.
Okay, is there, how do we show that it's accepted then? Because I don't look a good horse in the mouth, someone wants to give us a fire
You
truck.
can just do it on the minutes, or if you want something like a resolution drawn up to accept it, we can do that as well.
Did we do a plaque or something as far as appreciation?
The person has not told me that they want to remain anonymous yet. And if it's anonymous, he doesn't want anything, you know, but if he agrees to publicly let it go, because he is in business in our town, and if he agrees to, then, yeah, that I would like to present him a form right here, because it was in dire need. The old pumper it's replacing has obsolete drivetrain in it, and Daniel can't get parts for it anywhere other than junkyards. Go searching across the country. So we lucked out there, and we lucked out with what looks like a real good truck. So, do you want me just to have?
Do we need to make a motion to accept the donation of a fire truck, or
That
do
would
we
be-
need to wait until?
If we do that on record,
Yeah.
then it'll look better for Jack's Fork Community Foundation, which is where the money's gonna come through.
Okay, then, you know, first you need to get the actual specs of the donation so that you can say
With an
what those
estimated
are
value
for.
and
It's a
everything
Yes.
pumper, fire truck, there's no value, you can't estimate the value because they go to auctions and they go anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000. And brand new, they're $250,000, and this has 58,000 miles on it.
Well, you just gotta ballpark something. I mean, doesn't have to be exact, but you just need to ballpark something.
I'm sure they can run numbers and get
Right.
something.
And so just get the actual, you know, what type is it and the year and
He has
all of
this, he
that.
knows what
And
that
then you can make a
1,250
motion
gallon per minute
for
pump,
that.
750 gallon tank, Detroit diesel, Series 60 engine, automatic, Allison automatic. I think that's all we could know about it.
What What year of the truck?
99,
99.
yeah.
Which was 11 years newer than yours replacement.
And the
What's the-
fire station that's coming from, the chief assured us that he would get in and drive it to Florida. He said, there isn't a thing wrong. They got grants and they got 2 brand new ones. He says, we don't even need it for a backup. They got a brand new one for a backup, $250,000 each.
Do you have an estimated value by chance? Just ballpark.
No, I don't know right now.
20?
You could call it 20. You could-
20, does that sound, I mean, does it
I've
need
seen them-
something for,
I've
as far
seen
as
at auctions
taxes?
from 10 to 27, this
What is
exact same style truck.
Does it need something for that as far as for taxes or
No,
something?
there's no
Okay, so
taxes.
that's, okay. No, not from us,
Oh.
but for the donor.
The
See what I'm
donor's
saying?
getting whatever he pays as his write-off. He's got that.
Okay, then he doesn't need that part of, I would still, is that what you're thinking, same thing, the year, the make, and then what estimated
just-
value?
Yeah. Just basically something to determine what it is, because if you just say a pump truck, then that doesn't really specify what is actually being received. That could be any pump truck anywhere. So it just needs to be something actually saying what the donation
Have the
Your
VIN
make.
number on it and stuff.
Year, make, model,
It
and
doesn't,
estimated
yeah, it doesn't
price.
necessarily have to be full on VIN number, just most of the time what we deal with are monetary donations where you would get things like, this person is donating this amount of money and it's specifically to be used for these things, so with this, we just need to know this person, or if they wanna remain anonymous, that's fine, an anonymous donor is donating this thing, and then we need to specify what that thing is to go to the fire department.
I want to do whatever's quicker and easiest, so that when he or others just like him, I have 3 very good, decent donors that have been trying to help the city on the side with us. And in fact, we've got fire boots coming, we've got $4,000 backpacks coming, and already here are some of them. We've got all kinds of stuff that fire department seems to be what they want to donate to, because that is so-called donatable and get it right off. If they give us money for our payroll, it's not a write-off, they cannot use it. But fire department, they can, especially if they buy an item. They can't just give the money. Until Mason gets that 501(c)(3) through, then they can just give money. But at this time, I want to keep it as simple, easy. That's why, if we could just pass a resolution saying we would accept a donated fire truck, that model. Jason can fill in the blanks.
Do we need it as a resolution, or do we
I don't think
need
you need it as a
motion?
Okay,
resolution, I
just a
think you
motion
can just
and
put
everybody
it, yeah, I think it
approve.
just needs to be presented, accepted, and determined where it's going.
You guys feel comfortable making a motion to accept the fire truck, donated fire truck?
Jason, can you give me the specs, year, what year is it, what kind of truck, make?
I don't have the information with me, it's a 99
I just bring it
model.
up, I can bring it up for you. Well, here, we'll have it all right here.
'Cause I think you pretty much told us the,
It's a 1999, is it a Mac, is it
There's so many weird names
Yeah.
in fire
a,
trucks.
yes,
Start-
E1, yeah.
I'll tell you, it's in here.
I know, I said, in the Series 60 Detroit, that was our biggest issue.
Don't care about the motor,
Yeah.
all I'm looking for is, because if we make a motion, we're not accepting the motor and the pump, we're just accepting what the vehicle is, from an anonymous donor going for, and an estimated amount of value.
You upgraded phones on me.
Depends on what we're doing.
You upgraded it?
Yeah, no,
When?
he didn't upgrade.
Oh, never mind, I honestly
He's still
feel
got
that
the
on
flip
the
phone.
So he just uses this for in.
That's, yeah, it's the secret school.
Okay. One thing is stupid.
Mason will tell you a bunch of
It's a
that.
1999 American LaFrance Eagle pumper.
Hold on. Eagle,
Yep, American LaFrance Eagle pumper fire truck.
I make a motion that we accept the 1999 American LaFrance Eagle pump truck from an anonymous donor with an estimated value of $20,000 going to the fire department. Did I hit everything you needed?
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Aye.
Linda?
Me.
Brenda? Larry?
Aye.
Then we have it on record. You have to talk to Jason about getting a free ride. Okay, I'm good. If you guys still want or need a closed session,
Yes.
please do so.
Go ahead, you've got the numbers.
No, I've made enough. Your turn. Brenda's turn.
I want to go to closed session.
I make a motion.
I make a motion to go to closed session, RSMO 610.021,
Subsection 3.
subsection 3.
Okay. I'll second.
Discussion? Linda?
Aye.
Brenda? Larry?
Aye.
Okay, we're gonna, after a brief recess, we're gonna go into closed session.